likely to find on I don't know, David Attenborough's like documentaries, or they're more likely to read and find in children's storybooks. And for example, like I was reading a book called The Sixth Extinction, and it was talking about the number of species that are mammals, that are birds, that are insects, and apparently there's over 1 million insects. But if they just were wanting to try to include the different, like, you know, species and try to show that how much variety life gets, like zoos would be filled more with insects than they would with mammals. But most of the enclosures are filled with mammals because they're the more interesting for humans when it comes to the variation. You know, like seeing a monkey is probably more interesting than seeing the 1,000th form of bug that's out there, you know, for people. So, and I think
it's a good point.
Bugs are more interesting dead to people. People do collect bugs, dead bugs.
Like, because there's like money involved in it, and zoos want to get
really, like physically maybe, but mentally I'm still in an absolute deep shit. So yesterday I took a complete time off. People did terrible shit in my Discord server while I was missing, and I don't know. I'm rolling through, but I've abandoned predictions for this week. I will continue next week. Just like really wasn't sure until a couple of minutes ago that I'm actually gonna go live. Really not feeling it. We'll see. All I need is like a good conversation, but it seems like only vegans are in the fucking server. So
I don't know. Like it's a little tricky. The like you kind of mentioned, like, and they say that they kind of keep the animals well, but then you see things like the SeaWorld orcas where they have very limited space, and they're kind of are like compared to like where they were on the outside, and they're kind of keeping them, they're training them to do these like tricks and shows, so it could be a little bit more entertaining for people. And then you kind of like it's clearly, at least some of it seems like it's more for entertainment, or just like for, you know, human consumption purposes, but more for like viewing pleasure as opposed to like anything else. You know, it's like we're kind of going there, we see them like kind of like toys.
Why aren't we vegan yet if you're not vegan?
You know, like kind of gawking at them. And,
yeah, no, for sure. That does make sense. And I think the one other thing you said that I hadn't thought of, but I think is a really good point is
I don't trust them.
Just the fact that the zoos exist at all, like you said, does create demand.
Like, I don't trust them because for months they were coming in and wasting time. Absolutely fucking wasting time. And it was clear that they're doing it on purpose, that they're obfuscating, that they're not answering the questions. They're just like, once asked the question, they're just like rambling for hours. I do not believe that they went vegan. I do not believe that.
Those sort of externalities around the different demand that, you know, for the animals to even be procured is something else to think about.
I have trust issues now. Since that article, I have trust issues.
Yeah, and some of it, they take them in natural environments. I mean, I remember I saw like penguins.
Also, I'm not interested in this conversation.
And I don't know if it was on like Southern California or someplace, but someplace I never see snow. It's like penguins are being like brought out of their, like it has nothing to do with them at that point, right? This is not about penguins' well-being. It's not about growing the penguin pop.
I'm live on Kick as well, if you want to watch me there. The emojis are cool.
With some like fake bullshit ice.
And it's
and the weather's made a little bit colder for them in that area, but it's in Southern California.
Like more.
You know, like they're just so they do shit like that, you know, and these are the quote unquote good zoos because they try to make that enclosure more icy. You know, so it's like they take them out of their environments too.
I'm gonna get upset.
And
no, definitely.
And also,
I think
of course,
objectively true.
They also have predators there too. I mean, they're like anytime they have snakes, they have these like predator animals. They're feeding them other animal body parts. In the meantime, some of them, these are like not endangered species. They're just species people like to look at. There's like the one thing I'm interested in is safaris. You know, like I don't know that much about safaris, but for those animals, they're supposed to be in the wild, I guess. I don't know how they work. I've never been on one. Like, but I don't want to like switch the topic, you know.
By
But
the way, guys, is
kind of
sound
curious
okay?
about how those are like.
Is the sound okay?
As in a safari, like
Both
in
me
Africa
and
or
them.
something, or do you mean like an open plain zoo?
I mean, like an open plain zoo, not the
Yeah, okay.
not the habitat.
Yeah, but even
You know,
with
the
the
zoo I'm
second one, right?
talking about is largely open plain.
It would.
It's about
Well, once somebody's banned, they're banned. They just changed. They didn't just change the YouTube name. I think they opened a new account, right? Or like used a different account. So once an account is banned, it's banned even if they change the name. That's my
Like their
understanding,
space,
anyways.
and yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, first of all, this would obviously reduce on a very consequential grounds, maybe even some attacks, right? Which sometimes human can suffer, and if they do, then the animals will usually be killed, which is
but
then
some
very sad.
Jesus Christ.
But yet also again respect the animals.
That's why I don't.
How do you say? I'm not gonna.
Tone, that's why I don't trust that he's vegan. I don't trust it. He keeps wasting time yapping.
And I don't know, like, why do you want to disturb them?
Hey,
Right?
what's up,
It's
Ratuku?
like-
Hello, Ratuku. How are you doing?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Oh my
Ooh.
god, it's
Lots of
It's so
kids
dark.
behind you, right? Ooh. Are you vegan, Ratuku?
what? Come again? Sorry.
Oh, I'm just asking if you're vegan.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to listen here. What are you guys talking about?
Well, we're talking about generally this channel is for talking to people about why they're not vegan, right? Just like asking for a justification for paying for exploitation and slaughter of sentient animals. Some people think that justification is not needed. We think that it is, right? Once blood is spilled, we should probably talk about it, right? Once somebody's enslaved, we should probably talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It reminds me like lately I watched a lot campaign about this veganism. So yeah, I think I wanna like know more about this kind of thing. Like it's new to me. Like I don't really know about these things. So yeah.
Well, sure. I can like give you an argument for veganism if you want. Would you like me to? Oh, that's not it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on my screen, but I'm gonna say it as well. So, ooh, the kids are really excited about something. If you could mute me, mute like for like a second. Or maybe turn on like Discord noise reduction. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, the argument for veganism is that the vegan position, it comes from understanding that it's immoral to exploit and kill sentient beings for unnecessary stuff. So what does sentient mean? Sentient means the ability to experience life, like feel pain, fear, joy, excitement, anxiety, those kind of things, right? So animals, for the most part, are sentient. They do have those experiences, right? They have the ability to feel pain. Now, when you ask yourself, well, why is it not okay to harm a human being, cause them pain, exploit them, kill them, right? Why is it not okay? Well, because they can experience all of those lives and they're very attached to those experiences, like most of us are, right? Like, I have my life, right? It's hard sometimes, but I'm experiencing it fully, and I don't want it to be taken away from me. And therefore, it's immoral to take my life away from me, right? Well, animals have the same experience. They might have like lower cognition when it comes to, I don't know, talking about morality and stuff like that, right? Or even having the ability to know what is moral and what is not. But they're still experiencing life, right? And therefore, taking that life away from them is immoral. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get your point. But the thing is, like, I read a lot, like, the maybe it's like make fun of it, like a joke around, like, if we don't really eat meat and we at the end we gonna like compete with animals to eating, like a plant or something. How do you like?
Oh, sure.
What's your opinion on it?
Oh, of course. So, did you know that it's a tragic factoid? It's a fact that 96% of the animals on Earth, right, by biomass, are either humans or animals that we grow for food, right? And so we are actually growing a huge amount of plant food while displacing wild animals in order to feed the animals whom we then exploit and slaughter. Stopping that exploitation and slaughter, we could actually produce much more food, both for us and for wild animals, right? For wild animals, just by abandoning the pasture, a food can be grown there and not be like intensively harvested and fed to the animals that we exploit and slaughter.
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, thanks. I mean, yeah. Thank you for this kind of point of view. It's really like it's I mean, like, new insight for me. Thank you.
Oh, sure. You're welcome to ask questions. I don't know. I like really just like want to ask you, what would like stop you from just like not paying for exploitation and slaughter anymore, you know?
Okay.
Like most people say stuff like, I don't know, I have these habits, it's food that I like, how it tastes and stuff like that. Is that like similar to your what goes through your head right now?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So do you think like that justifies those questions, the flavor profile and the habituality of something? Does that justify actually taking an entire life of billions, if not trillions, of animals?
Uh, I'm sorry. And uh, I need to go. Thank you. Yeah.
Think about it, okay, Roku? Yeah. And come back. Oh, sorry, Ratuku. And come back. Have a discussion when you're like a little less busy, maybe. All right. Okay. Well. Anybody else not vegan in here? How about you, Blue Robe? Are you vegan? Would you like to have a conversation about it? No? Who else? Sorry for abrupting that conversation, by the way. Val, Chill, Slug. Just seemed more...
No, that's absolutely fine.
That's all good. We were just filling the space when there weren't any non-vegans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're here
No,
for
that's
outreach.
fine.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
up, everyone?
exactly.
G'day.
Hello.
What about Ordis? Where Ordis talked to, I guess. I don't know how else to say it.
Good morning.
Sorry, who said good morning? I was clicked off.
Does anybody have any questions?
So guys, here's the thing, right? I'm streaming my argument for veganism. It's an argument for the wider population, let's just say it like that. If you have questions / rebuttals of that argument, you're welcome to discuss them with me. Or with anybody else in this place. Yeah. Sometimes it's just gonna be fucking quiet, isn't it? Sometimes it's gonna be going absolutely silent. Speaking of, I'm thinking of changing my schedule up a little bit. I still don't know what's gonna...
Everybody's shy.
Yeah, I still don't know what's gonna happen when it happens. Oh, give me a sec. What's up, Demon? Diamond?
Yo, it's Demon. What's
Demon.
up? What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Are you vegan, Demon?
Yeah, I'm a vegan.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, I'm a vegan by birth.
Ah, awesome. Why are you vegan?
Cause I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any cries.
Okay. Thank you so much for that contribution to the world. Christ. Anyways, I'm thinking of...
Well, I've heard worse introductions.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah,
like-
bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't know yet what it's gonna look like. I'm probably gonna be moving it to Tuesdays and Thursdays though, because Fridays
Happy New Year, by the way.
are kind of uncomfortable for me to continue doing live streams during the winter, especially for reasons. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably move it to Tuesdays and
You too,
Thursdays.
mate. It's almost the 3rd of January here, though.
And
That's a nice contrast to my -13.
I don't know what they yapping about, but
What was that, sorry?
That's a nice
the
contrast to my -13.
okay, I don't care about that. Anyways, so Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe closer to like later in the day, you know, so that Americans don't have to like stay up so late and shit. 6 a.m. here, still up. Jesus Christ, Lewis. Yeah, I see, like, I go in the evening and I see, like, fucking people are duking it out in the middle of the night as well. Oh, hello. Look, says Jess, as much as I agree with veganism, I have to point out the fact that certain vegan products aren't as good for the environment as the non-vegan products. Oh, which ones? That is probably true. There's probably some esoteric animal product that is better for the environment. I just really want to know which ones are you comparing, right? So which product are you saying is not as good for the environment, and which non-vegan products you are comparing it to, right? Because if we take a look, it's like, if we take a look at this, right, we do have like a thing on it, right? So if you look at greenhouse gas emissions across the supply chain, right, so they're accounting for everything that happens in the product production. There certainly are like some products that are like some vegan products that are environmentally problematic, right? So like chocolate and coffee, and they're like higher than, for instance, chicken meat per kilogram, though, right? I bet you're not consuming a kilogram of coffee per day, or like even 100 grams of coffee per day, right? When I make this cup of coffee, I did check it, right? It's 2 grams of coffee, and I drink 3 to 4 of those per day, right? And more often lately than not, I also take my caffeine, replace this caffeine with a synthetic caffeine that has almost zero environmental or like other issues, right? So it really depends what you're saying, because like chocolate, I really hope also people don't eat like 100 to 200 grams of chocolate per day, right? I eat maybe 200 grams per month, frankly. Most months. And yeah, you just don't interact with those foods the way you interact with animal products. Who eats less than 150 grams of beef every time they sit down to eat beef? That's like a tiny burger is 150 grams. You can't really compare that to pure chocolate in this case, I think. Right? You definitely can't compare it to coffee. Yeah, but also, yeah, like if you care about the environment, this is not the conversation here, Jess, right? The conversation here is animal rights. But if you care about the environment, you should go vegan and eliminate all of those highest environmental degrading products, and also maybe reduce your chocolate use, right? If that's what you care about. Pleater is pretty terrible. It has a rather large carbon footprint. What the fuck is it? Oh, pleather. Pleather. Oh, no. No. You are mistaken. So when people talk about leather production, they're only looking at the fact that leather is biodegradable. And that's where they say, well, leather is biodegradable. Sometimes, by the way, not always. And leather isn't. But they're not looking at the entire production line, right? If you look at the entire production line, so this is bovine leather, the first one. This is polyurethane leather. And this is mycelium leather, which is like vegans are really innovating in the world, right? Mycelium leather exists and it has a tiny footprint, like the smallest. So bovine leather, when it comes to global warming potential, bovine leather, the production of it, not only like growing, like raising an animal for 2 years before they're skinned, right? That also is partially considered. But also the turning completely biodegradable carcass skin into something that is durable and wearable and can hang around for a long time. The amount of chemicals that need to be spilled for it, like arsenic, chromium-3 that easily turns to chromium-6, and others, Like the amount of fresh water used for bovine leather production with comparison to polyurethane leather, the amount of human toxicity potential polyurethane has almost zero, and mycelium is also always going to be tiny. The only thing that is a problem is fossil fuel potential, non-renewable, right? So there, polyurethane leather is like the worst, and mycelium is tiny. So you can just buy that, or you can buy a polyurethane, a good one, right? There's the shit ones, we know, like the thin, tiny sheets that like peel off within a year. And then there is a good polyurethane that can hang around for 6-7 years. Like we all know a vegan on this little website called YouTube's called Vegan Gaze, and she has vegan polyurethane shoes, and she's been wearing them for 5-6 years, right? So you really gotta consider the entire production to make that claim. That's just like incorrect. Just like pleather wins everything except for the fossil fuel potential, the non-renewability, which is a problem, right? That's why let's go for mycelium. But look at that, bovine level is higher than mycelium level, so there you go. Again, if you care about the environment, go vegan and buy mycelium level instead of polyurethane level, right? VPM has chocolate deficiency, yeah, maybe. I'm just like, I do care about the environment, and so I've reduced my chocolate consumption very low, and I also buy fair trade, just, you know, just to be the best person online. That's why I'm doing it, just to virtue signal to everybody that I'm the best person online. Yes, but what I said is certain vegan products are not as good as non-vegan products, and it's kind of hard to justify the carbon footprint of things like pleather and wearable. Well, there you go. I showed you that you are unfortunately wrong about this, right? Leather has a much larger environmental footprint in everything but one aspect of it. And you know, you're welcome to examine this. I have like a bunch of other things there, right? This is not the only site. This is not the only study that I quoted. There are a bunch of other sites, studies, right? And just like leather is like really terrible. It destroys entire countries, frankly, right? India is gonna suffer for being a #1 leather producer. Holy shit. It's absolutely terrible. So it's just like, it's a matter, I understand why people make that mistake. They just look at like one sliver, and that's this one. They look at the renewability, but they're not looking at the entire production. And the entire production level just like fucking is disgusting, frankly, to the environment. Yes, mycelium leather is a neat product, I'll give you, but it's ready, I'm guessing you're saying it's not really readily available compared to the non-vegan options. Well, it seems that polyurethane leather is better than leather. It seems that pleather is better than leather when it comes to the environment. It just misses out on the renewability. And we are on the cusp of fixing that issue anyways, right? Like, companies are starting to take the recyclability of plastic very seriously. For instance, even the mogul Coca-Cola rolled out a almost fully recycled bottle, right? The entire bottle is recycled except for the label and the cork, right? And they'll get that as well because they are now financially motivated by sanctions in certain countries to actually find a way to recycle plastic. And so if we can recycle polyurethane and turn it into like building materials or another pleather product or like fleece, this is recycled in a lot of cases, right? This like synthetic fleece. Then it's going to be like become a fantastic product. Whereas bovine leather is environmentally degraded, like horrific in all the other aspects. You have to, here's the thing, Jess, right? You have to look at the entire product life cycle analysis. If you're pigeonholing on this one thing, you're going to make a mistake, a grave mistake in this case. It's just not going to give you the entire picture of the product. Leather is terrible. I don't remember the source of it, but leather uses like something crazy, like something like 20% of world's water in its production. It's insane. Leather is terrible for the environment. And if it could have been made better, it would have already. Right? It's just getting worse and worse because they want to make it durable. Durability is one of those things that people keep pointing out at the lever. Well, that durability comes from complete degradation of the environment, not only the local, right? If you go to the town of Kanpur in India, not only the local one, but globally, the greenhouse emissions are crazy. The freshwater toxicity is crazy. I mean, the people in Kanpur are in an insane, and that's like number 1 or number 2 producer in the world, right? Is India. Kids are working there, you know, so like human rights violations up to wazoo, but that's something that we're used to, I guess. Kids are getting, people are getting like weird shit happening to their eyes, cancer risk increases, you know, wait, those pictures, right? That's like, you can say that about vegan products as well, probably, right? There's probably a sweatshop somewhere that does this as well. But it goes the same for leather, right? But much worse because they are like truly fucking destroying that area to the point where this article says you can't grow food there anymore in this town. So farmers can't grow crops there anymore because of the toxicity in the entire area. So they abandon the ability, like they abandon growing food and they go to work for the leather production industry because they literally have no choice. And obviously they're not getting any kind of protection. And so they get fucked up. They have these skin conditions, the kids again working, Jesus Christ. And their cancer rates are like certain cancers, obviously, like skin cancer and I think lung cancer, like 40 times or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I need to reread this article, but like 40 times higher or something like that than any other region. And this entire thing spills into Ganges, and Ganges runs across the entire India. I'm sorry, guys, you're getting a lecture, and people who have been around here, they're getting this lecture often. So, like, Jess, that's just like incorrect to say that pleather is worse than leather. It's not when you look at the entire life cycle. It's not. Your town is Kanpur? Your hometown is Kanpur, Sigma? Yeah? Okay, I don't know what questions to ask. I mean, this article pretty much answers them. You're in Kanpur right now. I don't know why that's a laughing matter, but okay. Okay, you want to tell something about it? Go for it. I think there is a conversation going on in there, though. So, yeah, I'm going to give you the chance to, like, tell me if I'm wrong or something. If this article is wrong. I opened YouTube. The first thing I look at, I was scrolling through. I was shocked. Well, that's how YouTube works. It becomes better at like bringing content to people who might be interested in it. So the Daddy Google knows where you are, I guess. All right, let's go to maybe there's an
Yeah, your mic's picking up on
Convo.
wrestling. That, yeah.
That's my beanbag, okay, guys?
Oh shit.
Oh, cool.
Deal with it.
Oh, now I
Oh,
want to be back.
That's perfectly fair. Now I know what it is.
Are you
I thought you might have just been licking
Aussie
your
or
mic.
Kiwi? Wait, Chill Slug, you're a Kiwi, right?
See, I'll give you a chance to guess. So you're locking in Kiwi?
Wait, okay. Say fucking hell, cunt. In just your natural accent.
That's not fair. That's like a
Yeah,
default,
no, you gotta
phrase.
do it. You gotta do it.
So say it again. What do you want to say exactly?
Just repeat after me. Fucking hell, cunt.
Okay. So Britishers, when they colonized India, they set up huge tanneries in Kanpur. It was known as Kanpur. Oh shit! At that time, at one point, it was a manufacturing hub of whole Asia. Jesus Christ, bro! And now it's the manufacturing hub of the entire world, right? India is like number 1 or number 2 exporter of leather, something like that, and number 1 or number 2 producer of leather as well. But eventually industry died down. It's dwindling further down. Oh, that's good. Jesus Christ, that's so good. I hope you're able to replace it with something though, because like otherwise, I hope the area is not becoming like incredibly desolate because of this. But there are still factories left on outskirts. Okay, that's good. Jesus, that's good to hear. I hope this article had something to do with it, frankly. The article that I closed already. Because, yeah, it just seems to be... Oh, they got slapped with fines. Jesus Christ, bro. I wonder where it moved, though. Probably moved to a place where there is, like, even less regard for human, animal, and environmental life than in India. But the industry owners are rascals, and they let out untreated water still, Jesus Christ, into Ganges, right? Into the Ganges River. That's what the article said anyways. Bruv. It's just like, I did my, well, I can't reveal too much, but I did like a presentation on this, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I really like dove down into Kanpur area, not only through that article, but like there are like some scientific papers on it as well. And it was like really painful to read, frankly. There are regulations to treat water and then and they let it out, but due to corruption, they find ways to around it. Yeah, that's how cows are slaughtered still in India, right? As well, they're just like, paying to the corrupt to cross cows across border. Ganga in Hindi. Okay, thank you.
I mean, I don't know why Aussies would not care about the environment, considering you guys are witnessing climate change pretty like.
The revolt against Britishers started in Kanpur with a brave woman queen known as Rani Lakshmi Bai. Oh, that's cool. Britishers, though, sounds like a bit of a slur. I don't know if it is or isn't, but I do have like British people in my chat, so I don't know. She was born in Kanpur and she was the queen of Jhansi in 1857. Damn. Damn those British. Yeah, it sounds a bit of like a slur. East India Company, to be particular. Oh, that's cool.
It's a micro.
By the way, Sigma, are you vegan? Want to have a conversation about it? Are you vegan? Because this is a vegan channel. We have conversations about veganism. So feel free to read my screen. I appreciate, by the way, your input. It's really cool sometimes when you're talking about something that is like a remote concept. And although I do feel it deeply, like someone coming in from that area and giving us a little bit of history, that's really cool. Now the question is, can we conclude something from it, right? Yeah. Pin message. Thank you, Sway Daddy.
That's not good, man.
No, even though I'm Hindu, I do take eggs and meat because I go to gym and well, if I showed you that you can go to the gym without paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals, would you do it? Do you think like it's... Here's the thing, right, Sigma? Do you even think that it's justified so that you become like slightly, potentially, maybe more muscled? Do you think it justifies like exploiting and slaughtering animals for? Even if you couldn't do the same on the vegan diet, which you can. I mean, I lift weights. I have pretty impressive physique, relatively. Well, the gains can be made on a plant-based diet, so they don't have to be stopped.
And so I feel like
But I'm just saying, right, what kind of a justification it is to like literally cause somebody to lose their entire life, either to slavery and to slaughter or to just slaughter. Well, still slavery though.
I think anybody really envies us, except if you're like
What's up, Lone
in a
Dalek?
country that's absolutely doing terribly right now.
well, unless you're in a shithole country, I guess.
Sacrifice of whom? Do you think chickens sacrifice themselves? Like, if I took a baby and just like slit its throat right now, would it be like the baby sacrificing itself? Could I like justify it by saying, "Oh, it's appreciated. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for letting me slit your throat when I like restricted you and slit your throat." How many grams of protein? As many as you want. There are plant-based proteins. There are some proteins that are more protein intense than non-plant-based proteins. When I was losing, when I was cutting, I was eating like 94 grams, 95 grams of protein per day. And it was easy while cutting. And I'm a tiny person, right? So my calorie intake was 1,200 calories, something like that. And with 95 grams of protein out of that. So it's easy. But again, right, even if it wasn't easy, even if you had to like do some extra stuff, would it really justify slitting the throat of an animal for? Corndude, I know you're like trolling a little bit, but can you like, I don't know, have a conversation about it, like actual real conversation?
Sure, man. I mean, it's I obviously like living here, so it's I think it's a good country.
Hindus are still primarily vegetarian. Well, they're vegetarian for purity, and I'm asking, please consider the victims of your actions, right? I'm talking about the victims of your actions, which are the animals, right? The egg-laying hens, they're locked up for their entire life, and once their egg production is reduced, they're sent to slaughter. And I'm sorry to say, in India, the slaughter is anything but humane. Even if that wasn't in an oxymoron, they just like kill animals in a terrible way. Jesus Christ. Like absolute zero regard to the sentient life. Even if I care about such a thing, like slaughter in while asleep or sedated is also bad. So, Sigma, I know it's like easy to say, well, the population, blah, 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 but can we talk about you? Why do you think it's justified to pay for exploitation and slaughter of sentient, thinking, feeling, life experiencing animals just so that you can have like pretty muscles when you can get pretty muscles without that, right? I'm just trying to make you consider the victims of your actions, right? Now I'm just trolling. I'm considering with most of your talking points. The Spartans were on a mostly plant-based diet, and they might have been some of the most healthiest athletes in history. I mean, that's fine, but we're in the year 2025. You can surpass that historical claim, right? You can be just like an absolute Chad. Let me show you the vegan Chads, right? You can be an absolute. You can achieve world records on a plant-based diet, right? All of these Chads breaking records, including Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competition winner, all of those who hold gold medals. This guy holds 7 gold medals in BJJ, one of the, one of the burly sports on planet Earth. And that's the cheap guy. The cheap guy. I really need a new picture of you because I think you're buffer than this now, right? But look at that. Holy shit. You can achieve this on a plant-based diet. And it's just like absolutely unimaginable to me that people pay for exploitation and slaughter just so that they can feel better when lifting weights. Jesus. It's like, it's so obvious that we should grant to rights to animals to not be exploited and slaughtered for what is basically, sorry, cheap vanity, right? And I'm saying sorry, like I'm also vain, right? I also am building muscle to look better, but like justifying the exploitation and slaughter, the slavery of animals with wanting to look good, it's insane. It just makes animals have almost zero value. And that's frustrating. I believe just like tiger can hunt a deer. No, they cannot. I'm sorry. That's not a good thing happening. If I could prevent a tiger from hunting a deer, I would. But also, you are not doing this for survival. You're doing this to get some gains in the gym. You said it, Sigma. Like, what's the justification for slaughtering an animal when you can do without? What's the justification for putting an animal in a cage for their entire life so that you can eat their ass food for protein that is so incredibly easily replaceable? Eggs don't even have that much protein. It's like 6 grams per egg. Jesus Christ. Eat an oatmeal and you'll get more. Like, it's crazy. Especially since things like that happen. It's like, you now have like European strongman and a vegan wins that. So it just, Sigma, it just doesn't seem like a good justification. You know what I mean? Like, saying a lion can hunt a deer. First of all, no. But it's somewhat justifiable because lions don't have the ability to question morality, nor can they survive without like hunting a deer. But I would still stop a lion from hunting a deer. It must be quite costly. No, it's the cheapest. Look for soya chunks, Sigma. Look for the price of soya chunks. You'll find it that it's like one of the cheapest proteins in the entire Earth, on Earth, right? You will also be buying it in dry matter, and it's gonna be like 52% protein. And the dry matter, that's why I'm saying about the dry matter, it's just gonna be huge amount of volume of food and protein per kilogram of actual food that you're buying. So when you rehydrate it, it's gonna be like infinite amount of meals. I buy 200 grams of soy chunks, and that's like 10, 20 meals for me that I add into stuff with other protein. Tofu is cheap, generally speaking, cheaper than beef, that's for sure. And it's comparable to beef when it comes to. Bro, but again, you have medical problems, same. You need to reduce fat, great. It can be done on a plant-based diet. Why on earth are you paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals to do the things that you can do on a plant-based diet? Why? Just doesn't seem like even close to justifiable. Holy shit. No. Again, look up soya chunks, man. So carbs protein ratio, they do have carbs, but like relatively very little. Well, 52% of it is protein. And then when you like rehydrate it, what you're adding, you're not adding calories, you're just adding water and like volume to it. And maybe like some flavoring, right? Like because soy chunks don't have like much flavor. So you add like some kind of a mix of spices to it. That doesn't add calories or like very little calories. And it's gonna be 52% protein, but dry weight. Like, how many animals are killed and environments raised for the ground to create and maintain farmland we use to accommodate the vegan foods? Much small. Thank you for asking. Much less than for animal foods. So, and it's something that we can fix on a vegan diet if the entire world's population just moved towards plant-based diet. We could like start working on that as well. But if you look at animal foods in comparison with plant foods, much less. This is what you're calling how many animals are killed in environments raised, right? We'll get to the environments in a bit, but this includes the entire life cycle analysis of an animal, and all the animals that are killed for feed for those animals as well are accounted for, and plant foods are the smallest, right? And it becomes pretty clear when you actually consider the feed that we grow for those animals and the amount of pasture that we have those animals on as well. You'll see that if the entire world went vegan, we would reduce the amount of land, and by reducing the amount of land, we would reduce the amount of number of animals killed and number of environments, I think you mean ecosystems by that, ecosystems decimated, right? We could reduce the amount of cropland, because 43% of cropland exists for feed of animals. And then when you consider the pasture as well, do you think animals don't die on pastures? It would be terribly mistaken. As again, I'm showing right here, more animals are killed for animal foods than for plant foods. But also, what kind of fucked up shit is that? You're comparing apples to cattles, basically, because in one of those things is like food security, food protection in case of crops raised for human beings, right? The farmers are not killing them for funny business, like the insects and stuff, right? They're killing them because otherwise there would be no food for human beings or for the farmed animals, right? Insects are unstoppable, basically. when you create monocropping, when you create these large fields of the same crop, which is the system that must exist because we raise animals, right? All of those pastures, most of them are acting like monocrops as well, right? Because it's like the reseeding the grass. It's some subspecies of grass, but it's the same fucking crop reseeded again and again and again, cutting down entire fucking populations of like ecosystems just to increase the pasture. Animal agriculture is the driver of the things that you're mentioning, time, things, hunt, something. So you are making an argument for veganism. So I guess you're gonna be going vegan? Are you gonna be going vegan? None of those count, yeah. But where do you stop counting a life? Doesn't yeast count? No. So yeasts are not sentient. Sentience is where we should draw the line, right? Let's say I have this bottle, right? If I want to throw it into the wall right now, right? I don't think I should be considering whether this bottle is harmed or whatever, right? The only thing I would consider is like my own, like, oh, I'm gonna lose a bottle, or I'm gonna like put a dent in the wall. If this bottle somehow gained sentience and all of a sudden started experiencing the life around them and feel pain, for instance, right? For example, then I should be asking, should I be throwing this bottle into the wall? And most of the time the answer would be, no, it feels pain. It wants to live. We shouldn't, right? So yeast doesn't have that, despite being like live cells, right? It doesn't have that. It doesn't have the ability to experience life. It's just like one cell that is replicating really fast. In fact, I've been saying this for years. We should use yeast, more yeast, because it has like an animal cell, very comparable to an animal cell. It's not really an animal cell because I think yeast is fungi, but it has like something that is very comparable to an animal cell nutrition-wise. And can be replicated incredibly fast and efficient and clean. So we should use more yeast, and like obviously zero animals. It's very obvious. We should grant animals the right to live. Does a child in Palestine count? Where go vegans draw the line? Of course, the child in Palestine counts. What the fuck? It's just like vegans don't directly contribute to that, whereas like people don't directly contribute to a child in Palestine, whatever is happening to them, right? We are, however, directly paying, well, not me, for exploitation and slaughter of animals, and therefore it becomes like a moral imperative to stop doing that, right? We should grant animals rights. We should stop like exploiting and slaughtering them. I don't know how you conclude so vegan is bullshit by asking a question and then like just like not even listening to the conversation to be had about it. There are just certain people who force people to be vegan. In what way, Neto? In what way are some people forced to be vegan? Please give me an example. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, I'm having conversations here, I'm answering questions. So I don't know how you would say that anything in here that is happening is forceful in any kind of way. So I don't know, you should, like, if something like that happens, you should probably give me an example of it. It's not okay to be vegan. It's the moral baseline to be vegan. We shouldn't pay for exploitation and slaughter of sentient animals. We obviously should grant animals the basic rights to life, and to not be exploited, to not be enslaved. Like saying this, or it's okay to be vegan, is like saying, oh, it's okay to be against rape and not contributing to rape. yeah, obviously it's more than okay. It's the moral baseline. It's a moral imperative. You're paying for something immoral, and you should stop, right? That's what we did. We recognized that we're paying for something immoral, and we stopped. Oh, now we're going into Peter. Thank you. Oh, Jesus Christ. People who watched like a YouTube video are like now experts on Peter. Yeah, so like just fucking go Sigma, stop paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals, man. And just like go plant-based. We can help you with that as well, right? Like we should consider animals. It's obviously we should consider animals in our consumption, right? We can choose not to pay for exploitation and slaughter of animals, and we should, right? It's obviously immoral. But where do you stop counting a life? Oh, I've been there. Sorry, I've gone back. Sorry. Slaughter of people has nothing to do with veganism. Aren't you people against torture and murder? Obviously, but we're not paying for children to be slaughtered in Palestine, man. So we're advocating for the things that people are paying for. Brother. Both should be stopped. You should go vegan and advocate for children in Palestine, man. Yeah, we're against oppression. The Peter conversation, I'm just like not prepared. Peter sucks, now what? Go vegan anyways. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, how about you become vegan? Because vegetarianism in India is like purity based. And that's the wrong reason to like not exploit and slaughter animals. Also, dairy exploits and slaughters animals. So, brother, why aren't you vegan, Sigma? Come on. Oh, you can join my Discord server and you can post anything in there. Well, links. You can post links in there. So let me just grab a link to my Discord server. It's pinned as well. Oh, sorry. There you go. And you can post link in there and you can have a conversation with me. You can have a voice conversation with me and Chip if you want. There you go. I'm gonna jump forward. Let's see. Well, it depends on what you mean. 99.999% of meat is immoral because it's purposeful breeding, exploitation, and slaughter of animals. If you find an animal carcass outside, an animal that died naturally or something like that, and you want to drag that animal into your kitchen and cook their carcass right there, I would say it's weird, disgusting, dangerous, but not immoral. So yeah, you should stop paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals. You can continue eating meat, for instance, vegan meat. Vegan meat does still have some moral implications, but far less than paying directly for exploitation and slaughter of animals. So, for the love of God, so I have to go into this. Tim, Peter is taking in animals that nobody else is willing to take because shelters don't want it on their statistic that they kill a lot of animals. Peter compassionately takes animals in so that they can relieve them of their pain, right? So that they can euthanize animals that are dying that other shelters are not willing to take. They are fucking angels when it comes to shelters, right? Is it unfortunate that the healthcare for animals looks the way it does, that we can't help them much more the way we help human beings? Well, I guess not in some areas, right? Because in the US, healthcare is terrible. Yeah, it's fucking shame. But in the world that we live in, they're doing the best fucking thing. They're relieving animals of obvious suffering by taking in animals that no other shelter is willing to take. The fucking angels. When you can criticize PETA about a lot of things. That's not one of them. Damn it. That's what I'm saying. People are like watching a YouTube video and then, or like going on that anti-PETA site, and they like think they're experts when the truth is so fucking opposite. Jesus Christ. It's one of those things, you're looking at a statistic without considering the context of that statistic. Yes, their kill rate is high because they're taking old suffering animals that no other shelter is willing to take. Anybody who's like ever had this problem with their pet knows this, that some shelters are just not willing to take dying, suffering animals and euthanize them because they don't want to increase their kill rate. You are actually pointing at the problem that PETA is solving. Fucking angels when it comes to this. Criticize them for the fucking cringe posts that like talking about farting or whatever. Criticize them for that shit. Criticize them for this one time that the worker like accidentally killed a healthy dog. For this one time that this happened, criticize that worker and like, you know, PETA fired. So I don't know if you think you can criticize PETA for it. But this thing, it's fucking insane to criticize them for it. They're doing the best they can in this world where other people are not willing to take responsibility for the healthcare of pets. Jesus, brother. Very biased. What the fuck does that mean? They're trying to save animals from you, Sigma. In what way is that biased? They're trying to save your victims from you. And they're doing like a relatively good job, right? Sometimes by trolling or whatever. Sometimes by doing weird ads that people don't like. Well, do you think it's good to kill somebody in moderation, Neto? What are you talking about here? Oh, let's kill somebody in moderation. You can avoid this. Neto, you can stop today. You can say, today I'm not gonna pay for exploitation and slaughter of animals anymore, right? And you can ask me for a link of how you replace this moderate meat with plant-based meat, and I'll help you. I'll give you recipes, I'll give you guides, I'll give you even like a free dietitian consultation, right? Just please stop paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals and justifying it with moderation. What the hell? Is like, do you think that's a good justification for doing something immoral? Holy shit. Would you say that about grape? Oh, it's okay to grape in moderation because, like, you know, having sex is like once in a while is good for your body, is good for your health. Well, therefore, grape is okay once in a while, right? In this example, you would say, VPM, you out of your mind by saying this kind of thing. But somehow, in case of exploitation and slaughter of animals, the slavery of animals, you're like, oh, let's do it in moderation. Let's enslave animals in moderation. Out of your mind, man. What the hell? Animals are not products. You are making a category error. Animals are going through the process to become products. And that process is slavery, exploitation, slaughter. Grape, quite often. They're going through grape as well in order to become unnecessary products. So, Tim, you're making a category error. You're looking at a live, sentient animal. That's what animal is, right? And says, that's a product. No, they are going through the process in order to become a product. That's what you're saying is illogical. It's have been since in the beginning of human society. Sure, that's not a good justification to continue doing it. So was slavery, and we abolished that for the most part. We at least made it to be considered immoral and illegal in most places, right? Or slavery from the beginning of human society, right? They built pyramids, look at that shit. Or we should continue, therefore, to have people as slaves so that we can have free labor, cheap labor, right? We can still feed them, right? So cheap labor. You're looking at like this, this is what we're doing, Tim. You're saying this is what we're doing and we've been doing it for a while. I'm asking you to consider the victims of this. But what can I expect from somebody who uses like slurs like a 12-year-old? Yes, this was one mistake. You can criticize that for one mistake. This one worker who was then fired for it made the wrong decision and they accidentally killed somebody's pet. You can say, well, that was a shitty thing to do. Yeah, that was a mistake that somebody made and they lost their job for it. Therefore, I don't know how you can say that about, oh, Peter is so terrible. That one worker make a bad mistake and then they got fired for it. Jesus Christ, brother. You're pointing out at this one thing, and then you give us a statistic of the kill rate, not thinking that it's actually like exempts Peter, as like it shows that Peter are fucking angels. They're fucking, they're doing like this absolute fantastic service for people who don't want to have their animal friends suffer. You see, there's nothing can change your mind, can it? You're just like biased as fuck against Peter. But Peter, like, is an organization that you can definitely criticize, just not for the things that you are criticizing them for, man. You're just like, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I've done the research. You think the first plonker coming into my fucking chat talking about Peter? Yes, I've done the fucking research. Jesus Christ, man. You talking about talking points? You are giving me talking points. You know whose talking points did you giving me? The fucking meat industry shills. Literally, you fucking spreading the meat shield propaganda at me. And you're talking to me about talking points? Get the fuck out. Jesus. Weird people. Weird people are in my chat today. What's up? Sabikups. Damn. Just please. Sabi. Hi. Hello. Anyways, let's listen in.
Product. So vegans don't want to support anything that involves like an animal being exploited and used for human benefit.
I see. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it's a bit different than just like the dietary component. It's also like you don't buy leather, fur, or wool, like any clothing that's made out of animal skins. You don't go to like zoos or circuses. You don't buy cleaning products that are tested on animals, things like that.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle, essentially, not just a dietary.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't think I'm at the point in my life where I'm interested in a vegan lifestyle, but hey, all power to you. I respect the compassion
why
for
not?
the animals. Or I respect the
I mean,
compassion
I
for the
would.
animals.
Brother, the shit that you're saying, how the fuck is it echo chamber when people are coming into my chat who are not vegan and they have their points addressed? How the fuck is that an echo chamber? This Discord server that I'm streaming as well, people coming in to ask questions and to have questions asked for. All vegans are looking for is interaction with non-vegans. But listen, propaganda, there's nothing I can do with it unless a person is like willing to forgo their propaganda, right? And I've addressed your claims logically, right? Not just like as a counterpoint. I addressed your claims logically. It's illogical to say PETA is a bad organization if one person in that organization made a mistake, a lethal mistake, right? And then they got fired for it, right? That's illogical, not just like factual. You said the fact. I just put it in context, right? And the kill rate also, I just put it in context that most animal shelters don't want to increase their kill rate, then they reject animals that need to be euthanized. They reject those animals. They're not accepting them, which is the most fucking incompassionate thing to do in this entire world. They're basically saying, take your animals to suffer elsewhere. So those pet companion people are taking their animals to PETA, who don't care about this statistic, and they're willing to take suffering animals and end their suffering. And it's illogical, right? Illogical to continue like saying they're a terrible organization for that. There are so many things for which you can and should criticize PETA for, but holy shit, are those two things are illogical to use. Brother, it's an echo chamber. Literally, I'm addressing every single person who comes into my chat that isn't vegan, right? I'm literally looking for somebody to have conversations with me. Oh my God, it's an echo chamber. Are you out of your goddamn mind, you illogical dumbass?
Framing this as like you're doing this generous thing in eating halal, and that the issue of veganism is not relevant to your situation because you're doing this other activity that's not causing harm, but you are causing harm.
Right. So the thing is, veganism is still a very small minority. Majority of the world is still meat eating. For example, could you ever imagine China?
Sorry. Just I want to keep on point here. I'm not sure how that's relevant to what I just asked.
The reason I'm saying is because the reason I said that is because we're still going to be eating meat. Humans are still going to be eating meat. Muslims are still going to be.
But what happened? Like, I guess when chattel slavery was common, for example, was it right then because most of the world was doing it? Like when England and France and all of colonial Europe was still enslaving Africans, is that okay because the majority of the world did it? But your argument was that you made an argument of ad populum, right? Like that's a fallacy. That's not an argument for something being moral because lots of people do it.
Okay, so what is the next step? How can we make the world vegan? What can we do?
One person at a time. So if I could give you my 2 cents on, I think the other point you're making, I'm an economist. So you said you made the point that if you stopped eating, I think it was the point you're making that the rest of the world still will be eating meat. But like that is true. But if you can, you're not the only person we're having this conversation with, and we're not the only people having conversations like this. So if these conversations are happening and slowly over time, preferences change, demand changes, people demand different products. Farmers aren't going to produce the same animal products if no one's going to buy them. So they'll stop making them. No. So the argument is, as you progressively change preferences, they'll start, because a farmer's not going to raise cattle at his expense to then sell them to no one. So if people don't buy the meat, they won't produce it. So the harm goes away. So what we're choosing to buy is directly incentivizing and driving the farm.
I have to do something. You can listen to those people for now.
To add one more thing before, it's not just that, like obviously we can see the injustices that are happening to animals as one big thing, and we can say, how do we stop this one big thing? But in reality, there's multiple injustices happening to multiple sentient individuals. So maybe you can't stop all of animal agriculture. Sorry, I just ran, so I'm breathing a little bit hard. Maybe you can't stop all of animal agriculture, but what you can do is stop the injustices towards the animals that would otherwise be bred into existence only to be exploited and slaughtered specifically for you. Those are still injustices happening that you're paying for, and you could stop those. And that's still big enough because their life matters to them, just like your life matters to you.
Right, but the reason I brought up the number in the world is because there are over 2 billion Muslims, right? That's about 25% of the global population. That's 1 in 4 people. That's 1 in 4 people that are still going to be eating meat and eating halal. So the halal market, the halal economy is not going anywhere. So I think that's my part. Is what
Well,
I'm.
I think I could point to a dozen products where that's not true, like where preferences have changed and those industries don't exist anymore. How many blacksmiths do you know? Because people started.
Yeah,
the
Google.
Sharia, the
No, but
rules
just
don't
hear me
change.
out, because you're making a fundamental misunderstanding about how economics, like supply, like Keynesian supply and demand economics works. Like again, blacksmiths don't exist anymore because the services they were providing are no longer utilized. There's nothing illegal about owning a horse and having or wearing armor. The reason that those services don't exist anymore is because people stopped using the products. And what we're saying is, you're saying 2 billion people. I'm not suggesting that tomorrow you could say, yep, the market's done, we're closing everything, that doesn't exist anymore. But over 2 generations, 30, 40, 50 years potentially, as people start shifting their preferences, these things will change. And to Chip's point, it's not just about stopping it all at once. Let's just use some pretend numbers. If there's, say, just easier numbers, so there's 100 cows killed globally every year to support, or in a particular region. If in that region, just a few families get together and they all decide to go vegan, now maybe half of the number of cows are needed. Now only 50 will get supplied because there's only 50 that will get purchased. So Chip's point is also very valid, that it's not about just saying, well, can you stop it altogether? You can reduce the harm. So you can reduce the amount of those animals being supplied. So every single person counts, is what I'm saying. As you add them up, they accumulate and they become big changes. That's how change happens, just generally.
I understand what you're saying, but like I said, I'm doing my part with the halal system. The Sharia doesn't change. That's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Muslims were always going to be eating meat.
But you're not doing your part, are you? Because you can choose to not oppress an animal, and you are oppressing an animal. How is that you doing your part?
And by the way, what's the evidence that it's always going to be? Do you have like a ability to read into the future? Because we talk to Muslims all the time, right? Like a little bit more resistant to the vegan ideas, but not to the point that they are not not going vegan. Some of them.
What percent of the world is vegan?
I'm not sure right now, but why does that matter? I'm not sure why you're saying that. And by the way, why aren't you answering my question?
2%. How is that relevant? Yeah, exactly.
This is like saying, well, I'm doing my part to end slavery by having happy slaves.
Oh no, because at the end of the day,
you're still enslaving,
90.
right?
Okay, so I just googled it. So vegans are usually it's 1 to 3% of the world population. Okay, so at least 97% of the world is still eating meat. That's not changing anytime soon. And that's how he.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking the evidence for. How the fuck do you know what's going to happen in the future?
What the fuck?
No, what I'm saying is that we're still going to be eating meat, but what I'm doing is I'm only buying halal meat, where the animal, like I said, doesn't suffer, is treated humanely.
They do suffer.
What's the evidence for that? Just like straight up, just like bring us evidence that the animals don't suffer.
So do you guys know what halal is?
Can you bring us evidence? Yes, we do know.
Where's the evidence?
Give us the evidence straight up. Just like don't even explain anything. Just bring us the evidence that the animals don't suffer when they're slaughtered by halal method.
Studies.
Yeah, I think we've spoken to people about halal, like at least every single person, when we tell them that halal animals actually suffer, what they bring up is, do you know what halal is? Yes, we talk to at least one Muslim person every single day about it, and it's been more than 700 days since we've been doing this. So you can imagine how often we've been speaking about halal. But if you have evidence against the contrary, we're willing to change our minds.
Yeah, so provide evidence.
Have you heard of... Wait, so are you saying this is your first time? No Muslim has ever given you evidence before?
Yes, provide evidence. No Muslim has ever given us evidence. They only said what halal is. And we know that already.
Okay, you're making the claim.
Now that's dishonest.
You provide it.
Yeah, provide evidence.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
Cool.
Evidence that an animal does not feel anything during slaughter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why that would make slaughter acceptable.
Yeah.
Would that be acceptable in the human context to like slaughter a human being if they're can't feel it, would that be like a good deed to do? Or an acceptable deed to do?
For unnecessary reasons.
Okay.
But you made the claim, provide evidence for it. By the way, I
Sure,
will
one
only accept
second.
scientific evidence over the highest order for such a claim.
Sure. 1 second.
Sure, cool.
It's going to be 1 or 2 studies.
Tony, I'm guessing you're
Okay.
familiar with them already.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, wait, 1 second.
Yeah.
Also, just logically, it's really interesting to flip it on its head and ask people if they were put in those animals' positions, if they would accept their own excuses being employed to justify their death.
Check side
right?
chat. That is from
Study.
this page. There you go.
Is that the one, Tom? Let's look it up.
I put the link.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm gonna.
This is one type of study. There's like electrical stunning, and you can use in halal food. There's that type.
Wait. This article reviews the different stunning methods.
They don't do anything.
Where does that show that the animal doesn't feel pain?
That's about electrical stunning. How does that prove anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, halal is without electrical stunning.
Yeah. Well, it is in some places of the world. They like give up on
No,
it.
it's still used in
because-
some places.
Yeah.
You just Googling random studies.
Yeah.
There's only 2 studies you can provide, and neither of them show they don't feel pain. They show the opposite.
Stunning methods have. Yeah. This is talking about stunning. Most animals are killed without stunning. And how does this provide evidence that the animals don't feel pain?
Well, maybe it's not. They don't feel. It's the least amount of pain.
Oh,
possible.
so you backing out. Okay, cool. So we're no longer making the claim that animals don't feel pain during halal stunning.
Okay, so when I said animals don't feel pain, I was referring to general, like the life of the animal, like the way it's treated, the way it lives. That's what I meant.
What's the evidence for that as well? But
Do you know
also, how
how-
does that
you know that
justify
halal
enslaving and slaughtering an animal?
Because we want to eat them.
Well, how is
Do you
that a
need to?
justification? Like, would that justification work if I said, I want to eat human babies, therefore I'm going to give them a good life without
that's
pain,
cannibalism.
and then kill them
That's-
painlessly? Does that justify?
No, that's cannibalism.
That
Human
doesn't matter
lives
if
are
it's
more-
cannibalism or not. That's just like my opinion. I want to eat babies, right? Hypothetically. Does that justify me raising babies painlessly and killing them with very little pain?
No, that doesn't
It
work
doesn't
because-
justify. So what's the morally relevant difference
No,
between
no,
babies?
what I'm saying
What's
is
the
it doesn't
morally
work
relevant
because it-
difference between babies and animals that
Baba.
justifies killing animals because you want to eat them?
Because human lives are more valuable than animal lives.
Well, why does that matter?
According to who?
Animal lives still matter, right?
Yes, of course. That's why we don't. That's why we have halal system.
Yeah, if animal lives matter, then why are you killing them? Because, like, for a want reason, for like just like a pleasure reason.
Yeah, could I just maybe to hit on BPM's point further? You're setting up a false dichotomy because even if we granted you that to you, and it could be a subjective truth that, or even a contextual truth from Islam that yes, in your view, a human life's more valuable than an animal life. That's not the dichotomy. It's not you're going to get killed or the animal's going to get killed. It's the animal's going to have its entire existence ended and be killed, or and you'll get a tasty meal. Do you think those 2 things are morally equivalent in terms of their impact to the
There's
affected
different
agent?
types of meat. There are tasty. It's tasty, also healthy. There's different types of meat depending on what you have. If
Yeah,
choose
but
to
what
eat
you're kind of missing my point. My point is, do you think that like ending someone's existence, an animal's existence, completely killing it, whether it's humane or not, in your view, is worth the food tasting good? Okay, well, I guess that is what it is, but that's you need to reconcile the fact that your preference, as in not saying that you need to live, saying that you just think tastes better or is a better experience,
Wait, I
is
have a
worth
question.
an animal being reared and killed.
I think
I have
using
a question.
sensory pleasure to justify, like, I think using sensory pleasure to justify
Well, no, not
some
just sensory pleasure.
action
Because
that-
I never got my taste back after COVID. So it's not
So,
really
so let
like,
me ask you. So
for
let me
me,
ask
it's,
you.
it's personal reasons. For me, I just don't feel
Habibi,
full. I have to eat meat for
Habibi,
some reason. Yes, go ahead.
Habibi, if dogs would make you feel extra full and they would give you your taste buds back,
Dog is
would you be
haram.
in favor
that's
of
religious saying
exploiting and
halal, we
slaughtering
can't eat dogs.
dogs for food?
Dogs are haram. So no, we cannot eat dogs. Just like pigs are haram. Dogs are haram.
Well, that's not what he's asking, is it? It's not what he's asking. He's asking if something gives you pleasure, is it okay to kill a being for it? For instance, a dog.
Well,
You can choose
we're not
another.
killing it for pleasure. We're killing it to eat it. To
I'm
survive.
just,
Yeah. Eat
you know,
means
you
yeah,
said taste pleasure.
yeah, you're eating
Well,
for
well, not
pleasure
for
because
me.
you can easily not eat slaughtered animals or their secretions. You can easily
no.
do that, and you would still eat. It would still be food, right? A
No, it's not really
falafel
easy
is
for
a
me.
food. A hummus is a food. A pita is a food.
Yes, like I said,
Yeah.
we don't eat meat every night in my house.
That doesn't matter.
We-
You eat meat sometimes, and you do it for
Yes.
pleasure because you could eat food that wasn't
No.
slaughtered.
Right. But
Right.
the thing is,
And
we're not doing
therefore,
anything wrong.
what you're doing is unnecessary. So you're doing it for pleasure. What else would that be, right?
No.
So
No, it's
what's the
also
reason that you
destroying
eat?
the Quran and the Quran.
What's the reason that you eat meat?
One, because I want to.
There you go. So you're
it's
doing
healthy,
it for
it's
a
healthy,
want. I
it tastes
want
good,
to
it's
eat
healthy.
babies. Is it okay for me to slaughter babies?
Well, no, because that's haram.
I don't care
That's
if it's
murder.
haram. I'm not Muslim. I want to
That's
slaughter
murder.
babies to eat them. Is it okay for me?
Well,
Is
if
it
you
moral?
did that, then you would go to jail. So then I don't know. What do you want me to
That's
say?
fine. That's
Wait,
my
wait, so
problem. I'm
you
asking
keep-
you a moral question.
Yeah, he keeps going back to this whole like, oh well, human society, it's wrong, or you know, if it's illegal, it's wrong. So I mean, again, going back to slavery, Habibi, slavery was once popular. It was once normal. It was once legal.
Yeah,
would
that doesn't make
you
it
would
right.
you use the same argument
No, that
for
doesn't make it right.
back in that day? Well,
No.
just hear me out. Just imagine if you were to live in that society back in the day, and slavery was to be legal and normalized and everything. Would you have made that argument like, well, you know, it's the way it is. It's because my religion justifies it.
No,
You
because
know, all
Islam
the
came
same
to
arguments
abolish
you're using
slavery.
here.
No, because Islam came to abolish slavery in pre-Islamic Arabia. It set up.
It didn't. I mean, every major religion, people have raped and pillaged and enslaved and genocided in the name of religion.
Yeah,
So
but is that the fault of the religion or the fault of the people?
it's definitely
in Islam.
it's
It's a simple-
definitely
not
the
a simple-
fault of the it's definitely the fault of the people and how they used
Exactly.
religion as a weapon of control.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's not the fault of the
Yeah.
religion at all. It's the fault
But you
of
do
the
the
people.
same now, Habibi. You're
So,
using
yeah, so you're
religion
doing-
as a justification to oppress animals.
Exactly.
oppressing any
That's
animals.
my
How am I
point.
oppressing
You're
animals?
literally using religion, Habibi, to unnecessarily pay for the death of innocent animals. Innocent being the key word because these animals did nothing wrong.
Right,
Right?
which is why.
So-
right, but at the end of the day, we still.
So
need to
why
eat
do
them.
they deserve to die if they're
So-
innocent?
What? Well, because one, we still need to eat them. And we're
No.
going to eat them.
Why?
That's not
that
going to
doesn't
change.
answer my that doesn't answer
That's-
my question. Why do they deserve to die if they are innocent?
Well, not all.
This is why I hate talking to side tangent. This is why I hate talking to religious people, especially those who argue for religion, right? And it seems this person does, right? It's because they keep obfuscating, they keep moving the goalposts, like, oh, it's blah blah blah. It's never gonna change. So, rah.
Form of discrimination.
Fucking hate.
Because
Yeah,
it's like
there's
saying not all humans deserve to die, only the white ones, only the black ones, only the Muslim ones. It's like it's a form of discrimination. You understand that, right?
No, yeah, but it's not my. These aren't arbitrary rules. This is what the religion teaches. Our religion teaches. You're
Oh,
making
they
it-
are
How is it not arbitrary? How? Well, yeah. How is it not arbitrary to choose the species?
What are you guys all atheists here or something? What is? None
It
of you
doesn't
are
matter.
Christian,
What doesn't matter what religion says. How is it not arbitrary to choose species? Because if you come to religion, Habibi, it's pretty clear that you don't take everything literally, do you? Like I'm sure that your religion has some things that were contextual, correct?
Right, but when it comes to the Sharia, especially dietary laws,
okay,
it's very
okay,
strict.
Habibi.
It's very strict.
That's perfectly fine. So if it were contextual, then why do you not take this as contextual that it was said that you can consume animal products when there is a need for it. But if there is no need for it, it would be obviously cruel and unjustified to take somebody's life.
Well, yeah, it's actually disliked to eat meat all the time. That's why my family only eats it like most of the time. We take breaks
Again,
from it.
Habibi, you see, you're jumping. How is it
No, I'm not
justified
jumping.
to take their life when there is no need for it?
You moving
Because
a
the one
goalpost,
who-
don't move a
the one who-
goalpost. I fucking
Because
urge you not to
the
do
one
so.
because the one who created me and the animals said that it's okay to do so. That's why.
But he said to do in context when there was
Yes.
a need.
Sorry.
In fact, in your whole Quran, I think there is a what do you call it, a hadith where it says to harm even a sparrow without a need is wrong. So you're harming animals without any need behind it. You're harming them because you want to. You admitted that you do it because you want to, not because you need to. So you're harming them because you
No,
want
I
to.
need to. No, well, for me, I need to. I can't.
Oh,
eat
what is the
not
need?
meat.
Can you describe what the necessity is?
Well, one, I have health issues, so if I eat like, so when my sister was vegan or vegetarian, when she would bring
There we
vegan
go.
food, I would try it. It didn't taste
Okay,
good.
so wait a minute, Habibi.
I
If you
never
were
felt
to
full.
find out that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet, I'm not interested in an anecdote, so that's why I interrupted you. So if you were to find out that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet, would you then stop oppressing animals?
No, because I would never feel full on a plant-based diet, and I'm not oppressing any animals. I'm not
So
oppressing
if you
animals.
find out that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet and feel full on a plant-based diet, would you stop oppressing animals?
Yeah, sure, why not? It would be much easier. But to me, it just never happened.
Okay, perfect. So are you willing to try it then? Because I have the
I
resources that would help
have.
you feel full.
I have tried it, but I have
No.
health
I understand
issues.
you have tried it. Just like, let's say I have tried going to the gym and I tried doing some push-ups or whatever, but when I go with a trainer, they help me in a particular way, which helps me grow my muscle or achieve my fitness goals easier.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
have
also-
tried it in a way where you are unaware of how to do it properly. So if you can try it with some actual good guidance, it would lead you somewhere else. Would you not say so?
Probably, but I'm not really interested in it. But one thing I will say, the impossible wild.
wait.
Wait, David, what's not true? What's not true? What's not true?
We've established that the possibility that you may not have done it correctly is there. So right now, when we're providing you with a resource that could help you adopt a plant-based diet and thus not cause more harm to animals.
Yeah, Cosmic Skeptic didn't say that whatever was happening is the fault of a plant-based diet, right? He just got tired making an effort and then betrayed his ethics entirely. And now is selling factory farmed leather.
It's justified for me to do whatever I want to somebody because I want to eat their flesh.
Yes, but I have to do it humanely, in a humane halal way. Like Jews have kosher, we have halal.
Yeah, and I
Keep lying
can
to yourself, bro.
go up to someone in the street and punch them in the face as hard as I can because I want to,
Humanely.
or I feel like it. Like what is this
No,
argument?
because that's not.
No,
But you have to do it
it's-
humanely.
It's
You have to do it
comparable.
humanely.
Yeah, I'll go up behind some.
I don't know if I believe that, John. I think he did have like some vegan ethics. He's just a fucking weak individual that got convinced out of them, in my opinion.
Nobody's being
It,
processed.
it doesn't
listen to me.
matter.
No, listen to me.
Look,
No,
look.
stop,
I just
listen.
told you
No,
a
no, no.
moment.
Wait,
Habibi, I
listen.
just told you a moment ago. Slavery was once legal in countries like mine.
Yeah, that doesn't make it right objectively.
Dowry is still legal. There are still problematic practices all around the world that are still legal. That doesn't suddenly make them morally okay, right?
Yes, but I follow a Sharia, objective morality, right? So what this says, I do there.
I'm not
Slavery
an
is wrong there.
objective moral. I'm not a moral objectivist. This isn't gonna. This is not a productive way to like carry on a conversation,
Well,
because
let's-
I'm not religious. I'm not a moral objectivist. I want to get down to the empirics and the actual like reality of the situation.
The reality of the situation is that 97% of the world is.
I don't care
always
about.
have, and we always
Look,
will.
Habibi is
look,
just saying
I
that he
don't-
does
I don't
whatever
care.
everybody
You're
else
going in
does.
circles here. You're literally using circular arguments. So here's what I'm
Okay,
going to tell you.
How do you
I don't
enforce veganism?
care.
You
Look,
cannot
look.
enforce it.
Look,
Habibi
you
is
have
just
no
a
say.
follower. You gotta understand that. Habibi just follows
Here.
what everybody else does. If
Okay,
everybody
cool.
else in
Here's
the
my-
world does
here's my
something, he
thing,
does that also.
right?
Sure, go ahead.
Here's my thing is like your logic was used in this.
is it possible that someone can change their views? Do they need to be some kind of evil utilitarian? No, so it is possible to have your views changed. Something tragic must happen. So I don't know what happened to Alex O'Connor. It definitely wasn't the plant-based diet. It was just him giving up. Him, like, betraying his ethics. And I think he was convinced out of those ethics, but I can't prove that. Obviously, it can be. But what's the evidence, David? I think you made the claim that it's impossible. You might be able to do that or convince yourself that you can do that, but it's generally not true. My guess is that you meaning eating only plants sounds kind of arbitrary. I don't know. I'm like going back now. What the fuck are you trying to say? Who the fuck is a vegan who killed for whatever religion? Did the Jains kill some people? I don't know any other religions that have like something similar to vegan ethics. I'm not sure what... David, you're confused. Do you want to come in and have a conversation with me? Like a voice conversation? You're welcome to do so. Here's the link to my Discord server. You're welcome to do it. Come in, have a conversation with me, because I think I'm losing a lot of context from your comments. I would appreciate if you disambiguated a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, here's what you do, is you educate people. Like, for instance, having conversations like this, you give people resources and information so that they can learn more about veganism and plant-based diets. You implement things like meat taxes. You implement things like banning slaughterhouses or banning factory farming.
It would never happen.
Like,
you would never ban slaughterhouses. You would never have meat taxes.
Hold on, I'm not done. You shift the needle forward so that you ensure that people have the incentive to not keep doing horrible things like paying for innocent animals to die, especially right when, as far as the conversations I've had, most people agree with me. Most people think that animal abuse is wrong. And if most people think that things like factory farming are wrong, then ideally, right, we should be working towards banning things like factory farming, right? So that it creates an incentive for people to stop buying these products.
There's no incentive.
Right?
The incentive is to eat meat. That's the incentive.
Sorry, can I intervene?
But it can easily change. That's my point. It can easily change if people like you stop supporting this system.
This doesn't seem to work. So
right?
Well, I cannot.
This doesn't seem to work. Can I intervene, please?
Just like slavery was eventually abolished because it became unpopular. People started becoming more informed and less ignorant, and that's exactly what we have to do with animal rights: is inform people. This is what they pay for. This is what the industry lies are. This is what this oppressive empire, this sadistic fucking bloodthirsty barbaric empire does. This is how they
emotional
profit.
arguments. These are all emotional arguments, by the way.
No, it's not. It's literally logical. These people profit off of your ignorance. They profit off of your apathy, dude. They want you to keep saying things like, "Oh, it will never change." That's how they win. That's how slavery. That's how slavery kept going on and on in history. Is people did nothing. People said, "Oh, it's fine. Oh, it's normal. Oh, everyone's doing it." This is what we're trying to get you to understand. You're using the exact same arguments that slaveholders and people who apologized for slavery.
No.
You know, these are the same arguments they used. I'm just trying to get you to understand that. Do you understand that why this logic is dangerous?
Right. So if we're going to talk about logic here, how are you logically going to fight back against the evil empire?
By demonstrating.
Sam, sorry. Habibi, this isn't what we're talking about. We're not going to have a conversation about how to get the world vegan, okay? We're talking about the responsibility you have as an individual. Can you please discuss that? I understand you don't know how the world will be vegan, but at the same time, while not knowing how to solve a whole problem, you can still choose to not be part of it. So
if it's soil health is so important to you, you should go vegan. David?
Exploited and
I eat
slaughtered.
halal. No,
I can
eat
provide
halal.
evidence
No,
for
it
that.
Do you
doesn't
eat
count.
dairy products?
I do. I drink milk all the time.
Okay. Why
Yeah.
do cows produce milk?
Because that's how God made them for us. It's in the Quran even.
Why do cows produce milk?
Because God made it that way. It's even in the Quran.
Sure, but why do cows produce milk? What's the biological reason why cows produce milk?
Because that's what God made us for us. God made
No, cows
cows.
produce milk for their babies.
Getting
I understand
frustrated.
biology is a little bit more difficult.
By the way, David, you didn't answer my question. Are you gonna come into my Discord server and have a conversation with me? Yes or no, please? Ignoring me wouldn't be a good idea. Yeah.
It depends. But farmers will probably do it.
I've invited you to have a voice conversation with me, David. Are you gonna do it or not?
No such thing as wild cows, by the way.
they're
But
I meant bulls. I think I'm bull or something. I don't
They are all domesticated.
I'm just trying to understand your position, yeah? And it would be easier if we had a voice conversation.
impregnate them. You were right about that. Farmers forcefully
annoyed by
impregnate
this
them.
conversation, by
What
the
do you
way.
think happens if the
this
farmers
point, I
take
wanna
away the
leave.
baby when they're born? Why do you think they do that?
But I don't know. You tell me.
Uh,
Maybe
be-
to eat
because
it
if
for
the baby
veal?
stays with the mother,
For
if the
veal?
baby stays with the mother, they drink the milk. So it's the farmer is a business to them, and they want to take as much.
There are no consequences, just want a fucking answer.
And if
well,
the
that's
baby
not
is
okay.
born female,
And by the way, we can do it just you and me. We don't have to get jumped or anything like that. You don't have to, right? I can make the parameters of just like you and me. Happened before.
You know one thing. I love drinking milk. So sorry, can't do that. You never had
Okay,
chocolate
sure.
chip
I just
cookies and
don't
milk?
like being ignored.
Oreos and
Yeah,
milk?
Habibi,
When
I
asked the
understand.
question.
Habibi, I
Loves
understand you're
food.
kind of like a zombie to your own
Weird.
food, but
Me.
we're talking about the victims a little bit. And I said, can you detect? Like, you're never gonna be vegan. We get it. Okay, it's fine. Can you, for a second, at least try? Maybe you'll learn something in this conversation without having to be so reluctant to it. Can you try?
Oh no, I tried veganism before. Like I told you, my sister.
No,
did it.
Habibi, I'm not asking you to try veganism. I'm asking you to try having a conversation where you open your mind and maybe learn something. Do you think you can do that?
Oh yeah, I've already heard all these arguments before, so there's nothing really new.
Okay,
To it.
so do you think that cows being killed when they
I'm
can
getting
no longer
frustrated.
produce milk or when their milk production declines,
I'm waiting
killing
for an answer,
the
David.
male children, separating the children from the mother, forcefully impregnating cows, is that
Well, that's
something
not
nice to
okay.
do to animals?
No, that's not nice to do at all.
Kik, by the way.
Okay, do you
Kik, by the way, has people not very shy about slurs in their name.
part of their money goes towards this happening to
Well,
animals?
that's kind of why I'm going there.
No,
I guess.
what they
They
I
don't
don't think
have
anybody
censorship, I
says,
guess.
"Oh yes, I'm going to pay money so that this can happen to cows," and they're happy about it. No, I'm
That's
sure
not the
people will.
question that I ask you. Habibi, yet again, you're becoming defensive, and I ask you to open your mind and listen to a little bit, okay? So do you think that when you buy a milk product, whatever that product is, part of your money goes towards doing whatever we just described to cows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. So does that mean that you have some
There are, Gorilla God King, there are no medical issues with veganism. Veganism is a moral position. There are medical issues associated with some plant-based diets, bad diets like fruitarian diets, so diets that exclude protein and fat, that are usually also accompanied by not taking supplements, for instance, right? There are ways to do any diet really badly if you're doing it in a stupid way. For instance, you can have a sensible plant-based keto and be okay if you have the money for it, for instance. But generally speaking, doing non-plant-based keto will have medical repercussions. I'm sorry to say, like eating a lot of saturated fat, you will pay for it much, much later in life. Eating a lot of non-plant protein, you will pay for it. There will be medical repercussions for it. They're not going to be incredibly clear to the person because they're going to come decades after, right? But there are no medical issues with holding the ethical position that animals are not for us to enslave and slaughter. That's a weird that's a weird claim to make. Following veganism, not sure what that means either. I think you mean found a plant-based diet. There is no individuals, as far as I know, that this can't be solved for them. I know people who have celiac who are vegan. I know people who have Crohn's disease who are vegan. I know people who are type 1 diabetic who are vegan, type 2 diabetic who are vegan. It's just like, I know people with lots of allergies who are vegan. Is it harder for them? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes doing the right thing is fucking hard. Holy shit. It just happens to be. David disappeared.
Because you're not really looking any better right now.
Now.
So Habibi, do you have responsibility if you pay for a process that you know rapes and kills animals? Jesus Christ. Almost on a treadmill now.
Guys, Assalamu alaikum.
So, Habibi, can you please answer my question? Do you have responsibility if you pay for an animal, if you pay knowingly for an animal to be impregnated and killed so that you can get a product?
Bruv.
I think he knows what the answer is. This is why
there goes the mind reading. Okay, I'm incredibly bored and like disinterested in that conversation at this point. People like that should be dropped and just like talk to somebody else. Don't waste your time like that. Jesus fucking Christ, brother. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Should I stick around? If David wanted to come in and have a conversation, we could have done it. And then it is good for that individual. What do you mean by that? Like, listen, the individual disparities between you and I are probably minuscule. You probably need to do something different if you like have a... But my thing is, you're probably not talking about yourself even. You're probably not allergic to anything. You probably don't have any medical issues. You're probably just like healthy individuals who's like selfishly want to eat whatever they want to eat, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Right? I mean, we have the fucking evidence that the vegan diets are cheaper in America. So it's full of shit. People are looking at like the, I don't know, the Beyond Meats or whatever the fuck. And they're saying, well, those things are expensive. And it's one of those things that people do. They just like look at one sliver of the whole and dismantle, like for them it cancels the whole. That's the wrong thing to do. Earlier, a person did it with leather and they said leather is more environmentally damaging than leather. Not true. We do have evidence for it. Leather is worse for the environment than leather, right? And now you're looking, so you're saying, oh, the plant-based diet or whatever the fuck is more expensive here in America. Not true. We have scientific evidence for it. And what does scientific evidence do? They look at the whole. They look at the entire diet. And it's just happens to be that when you look at the entire diet, your cost of food like decreases by like 16%, man. Let me actually find that. Cheaper, maybe? No. Expensive. I know what to look for. I totally know what to look for in the site that I created. Right? When you look at it, plant-based consumers shown to spend less than other consumers assessed. And I'm pretty sure this one is... I think this one is in the US. I could be wrong because I have several papers here. But which populations did they study? Let's go to the study design. .in methods researchers uses primarily collected through a cross-sectional online survey, which is conducted based on the recent literature of food choices. From February, blah, blah, blah. Completed responses were collected. It's not saying where. Where did they collect? I guess it's like worldly if it's online participants. That's a lot of people, by the way, for such a thing. Well, let's see if we can find like US or something. Oh, brother. Country. The author's knowledge is present studies. The first assessed these expenditure patterns in a Mediterranean country, such as Portugal. So this one is in Portugal. Mediterranean country, okay. So this is not the US one, but there is a US one. That's a global one. So globally, it's like cheaper. Damn. What my content is, good guy YouTube. I do vegan activism. I talk to people about why they're not vegan, and I present them with my arguments and with my knowledge and counter arguments. This one, vegan diet is a food cost among adults with who are with overweight. Secondary analysis of randomized clinical trials. So total food costs per day decreased by the vegan group approximately by 16%. Maybe this one is the one in the US. I'm not fucking sure. Damn. There was one in America. One of them. American. Well, this is American Medical Association. It's written by in American, right? So I think this one is the one in America. So the vegan group just paid less. Holy fuck! Oh, we shouldn't. That doesn't matter. U.S. Department of Agriculture. Yeah, this is the one. This is from the U.S. Holy fuck! Found it. Damn, I have everything. I have everything on my fucking site, on my goddamn site. Yeah, hard to click with the phone. Well, I can, you know what I can do? I can do this. Give me a sec. I can do this. There you go. There you go. Now you can come in. Join my Discord server and we can have a discussion. And listen, David, you don't have to, right? This is like an invitation because I'm trying to understand your position better, you know? Yeah, but a lot more of them should be. Good guy. A lot more of them should be vegan. Are you vegan? Good guy. You are vegan. Oh, you did answer. I'm so sorry. You are vegan. Good. You're also welcome to join. This is a vegan community Discord for first and foremost. But then also sometimes we have like discussions with non-vegans on it, right? Oh, I can do that. Ooh. Soy feed. My lovely, lovely creation, which I don't know how to manage properly. That's okay. Let's see if they're still having a conversation with Habibi. Let's see.
You would have to concede that bestiality is permissible under your view.
Oh, you can join the English Hub as well. So, like the pinned comment. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll point it for you. I don't know how to. They don't have. I think. They only have the link. I don't think they have the code. You can join there if you want, but that's going to be the thing that you didn't want to do, several people having a conversation with you. And by the way, the reason we're doing it is not to gang up on people or whatever. It's just like Brandolini's law. It's Brandolini's law. you're gonna have a discussion with several people because there is a lot of misinformation about animal agriculture out there, or animal exploitation and slaughter out there, right? And it takes several vegans to gain the knowledge, to have done the deep dives into those things to show that it's not true, right? So some people will have some strengths, other people will have other strengths, and we just like switch between us because Brandonini's law, we can't know everything. We know some things, right? Okay, well, I don't know. Let's go back.
Happen or this, that's illegal. Like I just find it impossible to accept that that's actually he's actually not following that. It's again some kind of weird, theater that's just pretending like he's too stupid to kind of follow it, which again I don't accept. He doesn't sound like a stupid person to me. I don't understand how he's not following these things.
I think it's kind of like leading us to all these different weird arguments. So Habibi, I'm gonna unmute you. Can you, when I unmute you,
Why are we going? Why are we
please
continuing
engage
this?
with my hypothetical?
Are we continuing this?
Yeah,
because I want to hear him say
well,
that
that's
if,
great that you want, but this
bestiality
is a
were
waste of
to be
time.
discovered to be allowed,
You're utterly
he would
wasting everybody's
concede.
time.
No, I just want to point out how absurd his position is, right? Because if he can't even concede on a hypothetical pertaining to one singular thing, then his argument is just
he's not gonna portray, like we've asked him almost everything that could be asked. There isn't that 1% question that all of a sudden will open his mind. He's obviously close-minded to the idea. He's obviously extremely disrespectful towards all of us since he left without even saying anything in the middle of a conversation. So if you want to reward that by trying yet again to have a conversation with him, go ahead, but I wouldn't, because again, you're wasting your time and
and you're burning my eardrums for nothing.
And now there's more people in here anyway, so.
And by the way, you can continue the conversation with them in the chat without wasting the other people's time,
Oh, true. Let's see, we got Dekiru, and Thimen, I think, are not vegan. Yeah, if anybody has any questions about veganism or any arguments you may have.
Sometimes, I have done it as well. Sometimes you have this position, oh, I can save them. I can say the right thing to this person who's incredibly resistant to change. I can say something that will trigger all of a sudden them considering the repercussions of their actions. And sometimes that's just not true. Some people, we're just gonna have to wait for them to die out or change the entire world and for them to conform to that, right? Sometimes you just have to fucking move on. And it took me a long time to understand that. I still waste my time sometimes on people. It's just like, yeah, Tone. That's exactly it, right? I'm still waiting, still looking for the perfect thing to say to everybody as well, right? But some people just have to be moved on from until you find the perfect thing, right? It's just like it's an ego thing at that point. And again, I'm dangerously guilty of that as well. I can save them. I can help them see the light. I can help them understand how the actions, I don't know, impact others. They don't give a shit about the others. They don't give a shit about animals. Or they would go vegan once you told them that animals are enslaved and slaughtered en masse for unnecessary stuff. But they don't. Then stop wasting time and move on to somebody else.
By the way, Sam, be aware that that there are people who just come in.
I definitely was disproven about financial for maybe an average diet. What about someone who may be training for sports like strongman? and fighting comes. Well, if you're doing that, man, first of all, you are privileged and you have money because you have to go to the gym, and you have to pay for that gym, and you have to pay for access food, right? And second of all, some of the cheapest protein-dense foods are vegan. For instance, soy chunks. And I've checked this in the past. Incredibly cheap in the US. Very cheap. In the dry matter, 52% protein. You can add them to stew. You basically have to rehydrate them, and you rehydrate them with some kind of flavor. So you buy like beef flavor bouillon, which is vegan, right? Like it just has the beef flavor. It doesn't have actual beef in it. You have to check the packaging. You just buy this stuff, and you can make entire meals out of it. Or one of the things that I'm definitely gonna make. Oh my God. My friend used to make it in the past, somebody that I lived with, like my roommate and then friend. She used to make that, and we used to put that just like on fucking toast. Like loads of soy chunks, really rehydrated with lots of flavor. And then just like cook down with a little bit of veggies, this kind of situation. And then we would put it on bread and just like eat it. Oh, fantastic stuff. Tofu is incredibly cheap, man, especially if you know where to look, right? Tofu is comparable to beef when it comes to the protein profile. It's very comparable. And it's cheaper than beef in most cases, unless you're buying like the cheapest dairy beef or whatever, right? Or something on sale. Well, then just look for tofu on sale. I don't know what to tell you. But in any case, what you're talking about is a privileged position in the first place. And also, soy protein costs the same as whey protein, or maybe like just a tiny bit more for the 2 kilogram thing. Very tiny little bit. And it takes ages for you to finish. And it has the same composition as well, like basically, right? You can take soy protein isolate, which is when you're like doing like building muscle or doing like strongman. And the most important thing, the final thing is, oh, sorry, where is my, oh, I have none of them. Jesus Christ, give me a sec. The most important thing is that we actually have a strongman winner that is vegan. Give me a sec. Let me a second to find it. We have like this person, for instance, Brazilian Olympia, and we have this person winning the. Sorry, I just want to make it as big as possible for you to read it up, right? A vegan athlete wins European strongman. All right. So it's 100% possible. It's not more expensive. In fact, it's cheaper because tofu and soy chunks exist, and they are fantastic sources of protein. Very lean, right? So you can like go get your vegan ice cream afterwards. You don't have to like consume from that many calories, right? So cutting is incredibly easy with tofu and soy chunks, especially soy chunks. They're incredibly lean. Yeah, you can indulge in much more like fun stuff to eat. It's not expensive. But also fighting competitions, sports competitions, that's a privileged thing to do. Most people don't do that shit. They can't afford to do that shit. Anyways, I hope that's clear, right, man? By the way, I'm not a woman. I'm non-binary. I'm not white either. I'm Jewish. Like, my skin is white, I guess that's what you mean by that. But I think by white, people usually mean someone who's privileged. I grew up in an anti-Semitic country. Right, so like I know adversity like from a very young age, so like everybody hates Jews no matter basically where you go. So, and by the way, right, like again, I wasn't calling you, I didn't know if you're black or white. I didn't have no fucking idea. What I was calling privileged, my darling, is participating in strongman competitions or building muscle or fighting competitions. That shit is privileged. You already have to eat much more food. when you buy animal foods, protein rich animal foods are expensive. Holy fuck, man. And are you really gonna tell me that beef is not expensive? If you engaging in such a thing, you have the money. You have to go to the gym, you have to pay for like a coach, all shit. So like basically like why the fuck are you strawmanning me, man? Are you participating in strongman competitions while having like a weird economic status, a low economic status, man? What the fuck? This is just like, bruv, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you got your feelings hurt from me saying that strongman competition is privilege, it's insane. But also while doing that, I also showed you 2 cheap protein sources that you can get in the US, and I've checked, and they are cheaper than the animal protein sources. You can get those things, right? Especially soy chunks, incredibly cheap. Like, if you got offended, that's on you, Gorilla, God King. That's definitely not on me. Jesus. Oh, okay. I'm being the radical so that Pia can pick up as the moderate. That's fine. When I researched this, it seemed pea protein was the highest quality. No, all proteins, oil protein isolates work the same. It doesn't matter. Just buy any. Frankly, really, truly, just buy any for real. That doesn't matter. Buy the cheapest one, frankly, right? Unless you're in a country where, like, I don't know, it could be dangerous to buy something cheap, like where there is like very little regulation, and then, you know, do a bit more research. But that would go for whey protein as well. That would go for anything. Well, okay. Wait, you see it as an addiction? You see meat eating as an addiction? To comfort, ease, and taste. What kind of a justification is that for paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals? Like, the victims are real. And you know this, Gorilla, God King. You know that the victims are real. What kind of a justification is that? Would you accept that justification from, like, just me kicking dogs? Well, just, like, comfortable for me to kick dogs instead of going to the gym, right? It's more, like, cheaper, obviously. I just walk around and kick dogs. I don't have to pay for it. Would you accept that, like, as, like, a good justification for me going around kicking dogs? It's not the best analogy in the world because, like, I'm not even saying slaughtering dogs. Oh, I'm just addicted to it. It's my habit to walk around and kick dogs. Is that a good justification to continue kicking dogs? Please consider the victims of your actions, Gorilla God King. That seems to be the biggest problem, frankly. People are not considering the victims of their actions. They're not considering animals as anybody morally worthy. That's the biggest problem. Because if you were saying this kind of shit, Gorilla God King, about the animals that the society wants to protect, people would threaten your life, and those people wouldn't be vegans. Those people would be regular meat eaters who love dogs. They would be threatening your life for such a justification if we would replace the victims of the actions with dogs. That's an insane position, man. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings.
Framework and set of facts. Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty telling.
You saying, oh, I'm addicted to, what was that? Comfort, ease, and taste. That just sounds like a justification for paying for exploitation and slaughter of sentient animals by the trillions per year. Like, I don't care what you do to your body, but when there are victims to your actions, this is becoming a terrible way to reason. Then go to the fucking rehab. I can give you one. I can give you fucking rehab. Vegan boot camp. There. Rehab. You know why? If you were doing drugs, I would be like, just talking to you about your health or something. But since your habit, and by the way, I don't know how a habit is an addiction, that's just like taking a crazy position right there. I don't know why addiction to habits and comfort and taste should come at the expense of sentient animals. Trillions of them. It's just like not sinking in just what is at stake here, does it, Gorilla God King? It doesn't sink into you that your addiction to habit and taste, comfort and taste, are paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals who are, for all intents and purposes, are the same as dogs. Do you think if I was walking around saying that I'm addicted to dog meat, would you say, yeah, that's fine, keep doing it? And I'm just asking a question, right? If I said that I'm addicted to dog meat, that I have like a slaughterhouse behind my house where I slaughter dogs for that meat because I'm addicted, because it's comfortable for me, because it tastes good, would you say, yeah, just keep doing it, it's fine? Or would you start screaming at me, stop doing this, dogs are sentient, they're conscious, you shouldn't be killing dogs for unnecessary food. I don't care that it's comfortable for you. I don't care that those are your habits. Stop. You have a victim. Victims. Insane position. Just doesn't sink in, does it? Just doesn't sink in the ramifications, the crazy ramifications of those actions. Well, I gave you all the help that you need. Are you gonna do something about it? I can give you more help. I give help as well. I just can't fucking believe. There you go. This entire page is only help. Vegans are the most fucking committed group of people to help everybody to stop victimizing animals in a way that...
I wonder what ethical omni actually...
In a way that we actually like create this elaborate guides on how to go vegan. Are you gonna do it, Gorilla God King? I didn't accuse you of anything. That's literal justification. That's just like a word that people use when somebody says, oh, listen, rape is wrong. Did you realize that you're paying for rape? And the person says, well, listen, it's just like comfortable for me to continue paying for rape. I'm addicted to, you know, grapey prawn. Sorry for using like weird words that YouTube might not dislike. Do you think that would be like that would be literally justification for it? Because we're talking about stop exploiting and slaughtering animals en masse, and you're telling me, well, it's just like it's a habit, it's comfortable for me, and it's tasty. I'm addicted to it. And when I present you with all kinds of things that you can do to stop being addicted to it, you think I'm insulting you in some kind of way. I'm not. You literally used it as a justification to continue doing it. It's like a fucking word. Stop being upset with words that are not slurs. Jesus, sometimes meat eaters are fucking weak.
Nobody's feeling confident enough to even ask a question. Weak. That's weak. Come on, I know someone has a question, man.
I guess I'll ask a question. Does any non-vegan know what veganism is?
It doesn't sink in, does it? Just how horrific it is. Maybe I can help you out. Maybe I can help you to sink it in, if you give me 1 minute. I can help you out, I'm
no,
sure.
I guess.
I can help you out. Right
Okay,
there.
so veganism, contrary to popular belief, is not a diet. It's an ethical philosophy that says that
Most peop-
humans should not exploit other animals who are also sentient beings.
That's what we're doing today, guys. We're watching the news. I'm gonna help you connect to your victims. Gorilla.com. I'm gonna help you look into their eyes.
In the 1960s, there were around 50,000 pig farms.
I don't think we need the sound. I'm gonna help you.
How does that sound, Macomba?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't get
Hold
it.
on, I'm gonna help you connect to your victims.
I was saying, well, I'll ask you this. Do you know what veganism is?
Oh, look,
From
humane.
what you've just said, is it a moral philosophy regarding the treatment of animals or
Look in
something like
his
that?
eyes. Look in her
Yeah.
eyes.
Do not exploit other animals who are
This is
also
what you're paying
sentient
for.
beings. What do you think of that philosophy?
Well, would have to establish what do you mean by exploitation? I think that's the first
Your
thing we
food
have
is
to
produced
establish.
by psychopaths
And then I think
who exploit and slaughter
Unfair,
sentient
unfair
animals.
treatment.
And you're telling me it's an
True,
addiction.
but-
It's okay.
all right. Like we have to define, okay, fine, what are the limits of like fair treatment? What's unfair treatment, right? Because what's fair, for example, in a particular context is not fair in
humane.
another context. Do you mean that we should stop eating animals and killing them completely? Or do you mean like, should we find more humane ways for eating or processing them? Like, that's what I mean by what you mean by exploitation. Or do you mean like, okay, fine, the only way I can eat animals if I go out and hunt them myself instead of farming
What would be
them?
fair to the
dragged
animal?
into a
What would be
grave.
fair to the animal?
Just dropped
If you were
to
in their
die.
shoes, what would you want done to you? Would you want somebody to find
we
a way to
connecting?
kill you in a quote unquote
Are we connecting, Gorilla King? Are you still here?
or would you just want to be left alone?
Obviously, I would want to be left alone.
Is
I
this
think
good?
that's- I
Good
think that's
production.
obvious.
So shouldn't we grant animals the same thing then?
See, that's the thing, right? Like in my
Good
case, I live
people.
in a place where
Raising your food.
how to put this in words? We're growing.
Those are gas
We're growing,
chambers,
for
by
example,
the way.
plants and so forth. It's too expensive. Like we have lots of droughts and things like that. So then our only option for
You want to
protein
hear them
is
scream, Gorilla
plants.
God King? You want to hear them scream?
gas,
I can abide.
which begins to burn their eyes, nostrils, sinuses, throat, and lungs while suffocating them.
This is how your bacon is born. The bacon industry were addicted to. That's how they were killed for bacon. Look at them, they're still children. They're 6 months old. Yeah, this is good. Is this good, Gorilla God King? You watching? Are you watching? Those are the victims of your actions.
Lower concentrations of carbon dioxide would cause less pain and stress, but would take much longer to render the pigs unconscious, making it economically unviable. Sows are
for the food for the animals.
What do the animals eat?
We've got pastures, like
Let's
we've
move on
got
to a
large
different
tracts of
animal
land
for
that
you.
the government has not given.
What
to
do the
anyone
animals
who
eat
needs
during
them.
winter?
During winter, they eat what you call this thing. There's still grass. We don't have winter. We have what you call a dry season. So they eat the dry grass instead of the wet
Yeah,
grass
it's
that you
coming.
find in the summer. We don't
Vegans
have
know what's
winter.
coming.
Okay,
Yeah.
so instead of having dry grass and pastures, as you call it, couldn't you theoretically grow food for
Male
humans there?
chicks going on a conveyor belt.
We could theoretically grow food for humans, but it would use up much more
There you
water.
go.
Where are we going?
No, it would use
Gorilla God
considerably
King.
less
This is
water.
for eggs. Where are they going?
So the grass that grows there just grows from the rainfall. We don't have to irrigate it. We don't
Where
have
are
to
these
dig
babies
wells
going?
or dam water to irrigate it. Right?
Yeah, you could
It
do the
just
same
grows.
with plant-based foods, yeah.
Which ones?
Soy.
In Zimbabwe? No, man. Like the number of
Sorghum,
irrigation
wheat,
sorghum.
soy, corn.
You have to
Oh,
irrigate sorghum.
Different
You have to
drought.
giant
irrigate corn.
macerator.
Yeah, I mean,
What's your
there's
evidence
drought.
that you have to irrigate it?
So I gave you the resources to change, Gorilla God King. Did you copy that link? Can give it to you again, right? I just want you to try harder. And by the way, I told you that I'm non-binary, so calling me a chick would be incredibly disrespectful. I hope you stop doing that. Should we continue
To
watching?
animals also. So and you're thinking that somehow uses less water in the process.
Okay. The reason why I'm saying, right, for example, it uses less water is because we don't have to add additional water.
Slaughter.
We don't have
Yeah,
to
you have to.
irrigate.
Well,
Hence
animals
slaughter.
drink
There's
water.
no irrigation. We don't have to
Yeah,
use
Animals drink
irrigation.
water. Animals drink water.
Yes,
Lots
they
of
do
water.
drink water. They do drink water.
Yeah.
They eat the grass, but we don't have to irrigate the plants.
So instead of the animals, I would say that the amount of water you give to animals plus the rainfall, you would definitely be able to grow.
Awesome. Worth being addicted to. And by the way, you think I'm being not compassionate towards addiction? I quit 2 addictions in my life. I quit smoking and drinking. I'm an ex-alcoholic. So I am compassionate, just not when you have victims of your actions displayed right in front of you.
We
When
have
did I lie
several
about your
data. I
position?
can show you data if that's what.
When did I lie about your position? When did I lie about your position? And yes, I expect you to respect and not call me a chick when I told you that I'm non-binary. Yeah, I expect that. Because I didn't home you. I didn't call you weak, by the way. I said meat eaters are weak sometimes. It's true. It's true. You're considering habit and taste addictions to a person who's an ex-addict. So yeah.
Thing there in it.
That's a weak
But you're not
position.
answering my question. Do you take your
I'm
models
trying
from
to
other
answer.
animals?
I'm trying to answer your question. I'm
Doesn't
trying to
seem like
answer your
it.
question.
Never answered my question,
trying
though,
to- that's-
Burial God
okay.
King. Did you? Is this a good thing, what's happening to animals? It's a yes or no. A, brother, habit, and taste are not addictions. Man the fuck up and stop victimizing animals. Then stop paying for it. Do whatever it takes to quit this addiction. I'm an ex-addict. I know more than most people what it is to quit an addiction.
It's a hypothesis. I'm an omnivore. I'm going to eat what I can and what's available to me. If meat is available to me, I'm going to eat it. If plants are available
So
to
if
me,
human
I'm-
flesh is available to you, you would eat it, correct?
if I had no choice but to do it, yes. People have done it.
No.
throughout
You
history.
still have choices, just like you do in this particular situation.
If I had no choice, I would not.
No.
do it.
Let's not move the goalpost. The situation remains the
not
same.
moving it.
You still have
Put
choice.
your soy
You still
chunks.
have choice.
Mm-hmm.
The situation
Use
presented to
corpse
you was
instead.
in a situation where you have choice. You're saying it's moral to exploit and slaughter sentient beings like other animals for products you don't need. But if those animals are human, it's no longer moral, correct?
Yes.
So what exactly is the difference between any other animal and a human being that justifies the
No. Monosodium glutamate, you can add that to your food. You can add it to soy chunks. I have monosodium glutamate. They add glutamate. It's not an addiction, though. You can stop it. It's very easy to stop. You just stop buying the products. Again, speaking as a fucking addict, ex-addict. Stopping exploiting and slaughtering animals for my food wasn't even close to an addiction.
apply morals to
It
animals.
can't be.
There's a distinction there. So what is the morally significant difference between a human being and an animal?
But even if it is, we gave you all the help. We can give you all the help that you need to quit. Just stop crying and tell me that you won't help. You won't help. It's a yes or no. You're not addicted. You just like fucking. You know what? Fuck you, man. You're using the words like addictions about habit and taste. Fuck you. You're minimizing my world experience as an ex-addict. Fuck you, motherfucker. If you won't help, say so. But you don't call it an addiction.
Who have no capability for rationalizing.
You minimizing what addiction even is. It's like, oh, I'm addicted to sitting on a couch. It's so comfortable for me to sit on a couch and like eat bacon as if it's like the fucking lifeline. Oh, I'm so fucking addicted to it. It's not an addiction, motherfucker. It's like saying that you need meat. It's a hyperbole. But if you won't help, we're willing to help. Do you want help? It's a yes or no.
More meat per water usage and actual calories taken in.
No, they've got their own use. They have their
So
own.
why
use.
is
Do you want help? Yes or no?
From an objective point of view, no.
I have.
Is it right or is it wrong to exploit and slaughter dogs for optional products?
That is subjective.
Yeah, so according to your values, is it right or is it wrong to exploit and slaughter dogs for optional products?
According to my values, it is wrong.
Okay, what's the morally significant difference between a dog and a cow that justifies the difference in treatment?
Because we've raised cattle for food.
If you are an addict, you're making an addict justifications, crying to me about how you need heroin. Do you want help? Yes or no?
Dogs from a family of humans.
And there's people who already raise dogs for food.
So, would
I'm
it
an
be
axe
morally
addict.
justified to raise dogs to bring dogs into existence?
I'm no longer addicted. I'm an axe addict. I don't do heroin. I used to smoke and I used to be an alcoholic.
Significant difference between a cow and a dog that justifies the difference in view.
Gorilla God King, one last chance. Do you want help with your addiction? Yes or no? I mean, I don't know what you should say. Just like trying to ad-hominem me. Okay, fine. Like, I don't care. I'm a vegan online. I've been called worse. It's fine.
Why? Oh, so essentially, you're just doing it because everybody else does it. That's what you're saying, correct?
No, we're doing it because it is something that we've always done.
No. Your values are that you're saying it's wrong to exploit and slaughter a dog for an optional product because everybody else says so, correct?
You see, when you put like everyone else says so, it how to put this in words? It doesn't draw on, for example,
what you're
the actual
saying.
cultural significance that comes through it. There's the actual.
Well, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying we all decided that the dog is for this and the cow is for.
By the way, the vegan anthem, this is your last warning. If I ever see you arguing with other vegans in my chat, I'm gonna block you.
Agree with it. You see, logically, I'm trying to ask you, what is the logical difference between the two individuals that justifies the difference in treatment?
Last fucking chance, and then I'm timing you out, Gorilla God Thing. Do you want help? Yes or no?
Dog that would make it okay to bring them into existence, exploit them, and slaughter them.
You'd have to take away the thousands of years that we bred them, to be companions.
No, that does not belong to a dog, Mukamba. That belongs.
Like, this would trigger the non-vegans, so keep doing it.
From them, I have the capability. I have a special power where I can modify their DNA in whatever way you tell me, and I can take away whatever I want from them. So what can I take away from them to make it okay to exploit and slaughter them?
What can you take away from them? You can't take anything away from them in as much as, for example, it stops being a dog. What you'd have to change is to change, for example, the morals and the culture surrounding the nature.
Okay, so it's moral and culture. Okay, so do you think do you think moral and culture do you think culture justifies morality in your worldview?
I do believe to a degree, yes.
Gorilla God Kanye, I gave you all the chances in the fucking world. Truly, truly last fucking chance. Do you want help with your addiction? Yes or no? Somebody ask them in the chat, please. Pia, please repeat what I said, because maybe they're not listening anymore.
No net benefit to the society in of itself.
Oh, okay. So, well, they claim that it does have a benefit to their society. That's why they do it. It's a cultural thing that they benefit from.
Yeah, it keeps, their main reason is it keeps young women or girls from being quote unquote promiscuous, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It basically renders it painful and non-stimulating every time they have like sex with their partner or somebody, right?
Yeah.
So, and also the same thing is true with male circumcision. Every male born in my society is circumcised at birth, right? So there are these different cultural practices that are practiced that go against the consent, that violate the consent and the autonomy of an individual. So you're saying that culture is or can be a justifier for moral decisions?
And by the way, Pia, it's a misunderstanding of addiction, saying, well, there are some additives in meat that maybe will get you more and more, like coming for more and more. There is not even close to those additives to anything in cigarettes and alcohol. And it's not, you can have like a genuine addiction to something that is not addictive to most people. So having addictive substances in the food wouldn't even constitute it as an addiction necessarily. because first of all, dose response. Second of all, sorry, right? It's like having like a compound that is addictive. It's just like fucking word games. Just like fucking word games. You can literally be addicted to something that has like nothing addictive in it. An addiction is it's what do I say it? It's not a state of mind. It's like it is physical, right? But as somebody who quit smoking, I can tell you that the nicotine rushing through veins is the least in the smoking addiction that is problematic. The least and the easiest to replace. It's the other stuff that you keep coming back for. Nicotine is not even close. Like all the other stuff, not even close. It's the taking it out of the box. It's the lighting it up. It's the taking breaks from work. It's the thing you tie your addiction to coffee after meal, before bed, first thing in the morning. It becomes like this entire fucking lifestyle, right? That isn't like a fucking habit. I used to be a meat eater. I used to be a carnist. I quit both that and 2 grave addictions, at least 2. There are probably more that I'm just like not found significant enough to speak about. I have an addictive personality. But like calling all of those like little compounds and like addictive is just a hyperbole. And I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry. There are victims to your actions.
Because people have bred these animals to be like this. So then the only way it stops being normal is if people stop breeding the animals for that.
No, Drew, I'm pissed off.
Right?
But
Makomba,
it's like, no, Makomba, you're not understanding the question. I want to be clear. We're questioning the normality. We're questioning the purpose. What's the difference between the individuals? Because the purpose is given by us. It's given by you, especially Makomba. What's the purpose between these 2 individuals that justifies you saying that your purpose is to be slaughtered and your purpose is to be loved? What's the difference between them that makes this huge difference valuable?
Well done, PJ. It's not about.
Well, I guess it
could
boil down to the nature of the animals themselves, I guess. All right, like for instance,
what exactly?
But in any case, like saying to the next addict, like, "Oh, I'm addicted, therefore it's fine." Absolutely horrendous.
Can't use a dog to hunt. It's okay to exploit and slaughter them.
I guess, for telling you stop being like an addict. I can
that's
help
not necessary.
you.
I'm not getting. Well. Okay, fine. That's not the point. The point is.
What am I delusional about? What am I delusional about?
Yeah.
What's the delusion? What's the delusion? Spell it out for me. Maybe it's not me, maybe it's David. What is he delusional about? Please say it. Spell it out. I hate it.
The point is, we're at a place right now where you're saying that the purpose of a dog is for them to be loved, and the purpose for a cow is for them to be killed. And I'm questioning, why is it that? I understand why it was in the past, because in the past we had necessities, but we no longer have these necessities. So what exactly is the difference between these individuals that justifies this difference in purpose?
No, but the necessity is still there.
Today, I guess, guys.
No, the necessity is no longer there, Makomba. We have again. No. Okay, Makomba, let's start on the premise that there is no necessity, because I don't want to debate whether there's a necessity or not yet. We can debate the necessity part later if you want. But starting on the premise that there is no necessity, what's the difference between the 2 individuals that justifies the difference in purpose?
The difference, one packs more meat. Man. Okay, so I think I'm no longer following what's going on here because I'm trying to follow, right? I'm trying to follow because they're saying, okay, fine. What is the difference between the? Let me see if I can understand exactly what you're trying to say. Maybe I'm super confused. So what you're trying to ask me is, what is the difference between a cow and a dog to justify, for example, how to put this in words? To justify
It's an
one being food and one not being food. Is that your question?
Yeah, that's pretty close to it. Yeah.
Maybe I can
Alright.
help you out. So I'm sharing my screen right there, right? And there is like a little graphical representation of what Chip might be asking, right? So you have like this human being, and then like, tell me if you're watching my screen, right? I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, I'm watching your screen.
Yeah, cool. So you have this human being. So, and then you have this machine, and this machine can remove traits from this human being. So Chip is asking, if I put this human being through this machine, what traits should I tell this machine to remove in order for this human being to become exactly the same as these animals, which you can kill for unnecessary burgers, right? So what traits can we take away from a human being that would make it okay to kill that human being for unnecessary burgers, the way it is totally fine to kill a cow, a sheep, a pig, a fish for unnecessary burgers?
Okay. What traits would you have to remove from a human being?
Or traits, right? Like you can
Or
like say
traits.
batch, yeah.
Personally, I don't think there's anything you can remove from a human being that would justify making them into a burger.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily because they are human beings.
Okay, what does that mean, being a human being? So a human being is a category, right? And a category usually has traits in them. For instance, you can say a human being has like this superior intelligence, right? Generally speaking, right? Yeah. Or you can say a human being has this DNA of a Homo sapien. So I'm trying to understand what you mean by, oh, it's a human being. Do you just mean like that it's somebody like you and therefore it's not okay to kill them for burgers?
I think it's a natural human instinct to feel a bit of revulsion from eating human flesh. Right.
Sure, but we're asking like morally, right? Because you're trying to morally justify taking animals and killing them for unnecessary burgers. So what traits do human beings have that animals lack that makes it totally okay and fine morally to slaughter a cow for burgers? Unnecessary burgers.
Okay, let's not argue about the necessity because I think we won't agree on that one. However, I can.
What do you mean? Wait. Before anything, you think you need burgers?
Not burgers, but then I do believe that.
You think you need animal flesh and secretions?
In my particular context, yes. In our particular
what is that
in
need?
our region.
Yeah, what is that?
By the way, just to add a little bit of a context, the reason why I stayed clear of this and I wanted to do it at the end is because Mukamba's claiming that he lives in a part of Zimbabwe where they cannot grow anything but to feed the animals and stuff. So it's
whoa. How does that work? You can grow grass, but you can't grow soy.
Scarcity.
Yeah, I live in a part of Zimbabwe called Matebele land. Matebele land is a place where you basically can't grow a lot of what you call this thing, the food producing crops. Most of the food producing crops come from a place called Mashona land.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So in Mashona land, right, that's where you can grow maize, sorghum, and all those things. But for the most part, most of the plants that you grow in Zimbabwe need irrigation. Right. So it means you need to dam the water, you need to, how to put this in words? You need to drill boreholes and all those things.
Wait,
those
what do you feed the animals?
And infrastructure.
Wait, what do you feed the animals?
Most of the part, animals eat, for example, grass that just grows. Right? We don't.
How the fuck does a grass grow when there is no water, when there is no irrigation?
It rains, but we don't irrigate it.
Okay. Well, can you instead of that grass just like put wheat, which is also grass?
Yeah, but the wheat won't grow without irrigation.
What do you mean? Wheat is grass.
Wait, could you tell us the rough area where you live so we can look into the statistical...
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, but if you could,
Machiavelli
Can you
if
write
you
it
could
down, please?
type it in the
Because
side channel,
yeah.
we can actually look into the last year's weather to see how like the temperature and what was the weather like, to actually see if we can find any info on it.
I typed it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. I
Machiavelli,
appreciate
exactly.
it.
But do you have access to a supermarket?
Yes, I do.
Do you have beans, rice, pasta in the supermarket?
Yes, they're there, but they generally cost a bit more than everything else.
It costs more than
Canned
Flash?
beans. Yeah, I fail to think that canned beans cost more, or not even dry beans, that they cost more than Flash. I doubt that.
I'm just looking like at that area throughout the last year. There was no rain for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. How did grass grow throughout those months?
So that's the dry season. See those, for example, from January, February to about December, right? So that's the rainy season. That rainy season, which we're currently in, right? It rains and then it goes dry for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so
which
how
means
does
that
the
if there's
grass
any
grow?
agriculture, it grows during that rainy season.
And then
So what he's saying is sound. That's also how Northern Australia is. So that's not bizarre. I'm not suggesting you can't grow any crops, but it's not at all uncommon in those sort of climates for grass to die out in the dry season and then come back in the wet season.
What I'm questioning, it's like it sounds like the claim is there is enough grass in this entire space for it to regrow in 5 months, or for it to be watered within 5 months. Like there's no way that there's like enough grass everywhere for cows and stuff like that. And also
No,
like
there's
when
not enough grass everywhere.
and also like
There's not
cows
enough
need to drink, right? So like you
Yeah,
have
they
like
do.
you have enough water to give a cow to drink like for like 20-30 liters per day, but you don't have enough water for irrigation.
Yeah, we don't have enough water irrigation. We don't even have the
Cows
infrastructure
drink
for
more
irrigation.
than crops. How the hell do you not have like you have enough water to feed animals, to give water to animals, but you don't have enough water for irrigation? Especially that
There
you can
isn't
use
enough water for irrigation.
gray water for irrigation.
We don't have what's called stream processing for grey water.
It's just like doesn't at all.
We don't have
at
the
all.
infrastructure.
Yeah, so
We don't have the infrastructure for that.
yeah, this just like I understand, but like you saying it's impossible where you do have like access to supermarkets and you do have like in the area, right, an area where they do grow crops, right, and just like it just that doesn't like it all
So
like comport with
Are you trying
reality.
to understand or just to criticize?
Yeah, can we like let me finish talking first, and then thank you. So it just like doesn't comport with reality at all that you have enough resources to give to animals, but not enough resources to grow crops, which are also grasses. You could grow wheat, which is a grass. And it would take less water to give them to crops than it is to give to animals. I understand you don't have infrastructure for it, you're saying now, but you can start that infrastructure, and it would actually be like incredibly beneficial to every area, especially desert area, to move towards growing crops than it is towards like giving all of those resources to animals and then slaughtering those animals. We know what trophic levels look like, right? So if you look at my screen again, you lose 9,000 calories and all the resources that were made to grow those, raise those 9,000 calories, you lose them when you give those resources to animals and then slaughter the animals and eat those instead of growing crops. Irrigation would be a reduction of water use.
And also the thing about the price, I actually, as you can see, the cost of protein from beans is actually cheaper than the cost of meat from beans. So
I have a quick question just to solidify this entire conversation. If it's demonstrated that you can be healthy on a diet that doesn't involve killing animals, should you stop consuming animals?
I think that's a more appropriate question. I think that's a more appropriate question because if you start arguing, for example, what I see reality, when I go to the store, what I buy, and things like that. I'm talking about stuff that I
Sure,
buy.
we
So
can
talk about
talk
groceries.
about it later. Yeah, we can
Like,
talk about it later. But let's talk about like, yeah.
So let me put it like this: should we stop eating animals? I think
If
probably
it's
the
not
answer could be
if it's not necessary. If the only thing we get from it is like yummy meat and but nutrition we can get elsewhere, right?
then no. If there's no other no superiority. Oh no! If you're looking for grocery stores, look for Pick and Pay Zimbabwe. You won't find
So
anything
hold
on
on.
Zaparada.
Are you agreeing that if we don't need to eat animals, then we should completely stop eating animals?
Which one?
If we don't need to eat, it's called Pick and Pay Pick and Pay.
Pick and Pay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then Pick and Pay is one of the more pricey ones. It's the more expensive ones.
Then why are you going to the more expensive ones?
Yeah, it's the only you can find stuff online.
Hold on.
I'm not looking to buy stuff online. I'm just looking for the price of beans in Zimbabwe.
It's the only one that can show you prices online.
Hold on, without derailing this real quick, because we can definitely pinpoint this in a second. If we can, if it's demonstrated to you from this conversation that you can live without eating animals and be healthy as well, do you think you have the obligation to stop consuming or harming animals?
Not from a moral perspective, but then from a cost benefit, yeah, sure. Because if you can get more benefit from eating that and it's cheaper and it's better, then there's no reason to eat animals.
So do you don't have any moral issue with harming animals for taste?
I don't have moral issues with harming animals as compared to a lion has moral issues to harming.
Unless they're dogs. Unless they're dogs, then it's a problem.
Yeah, because I have
because you have a problem with harming dogs, correct?
Yeah. We have a symbiotic relationship with animals. Wait, is that the South African?
No,
That's the South African Pick and Pay. Let me just look for this Pick and Pay.
Wait, this is derailing. So if you don't have an ethical issue, yeah, sorry.
It just happens that Makamba has reached the same conclusion as everybody else without. Makamba does not have a logical reason behind it. But Makamba reached the same conclusion that it's okay to slaughter cows, but not dogs. And when asked about the difference between them, Makamba could not answer the difference. So, yeah, I don't know. You're still a lion, Makamba. So a lion would eat a dog. What do you mean? If you're a lion, if you bring lions into this, right?
Yeah, like for example, similar to like how a racist would say, like, oh, a racist would say, I prefer white people over black people.
Bruh.
And they say, well, I have no reason why I'm discriminating. That's kind of like a similar position that you're in right now if you're discriminating one over the other.
Bruh.
Similar to a racist, I'm not calling you a racist, but I'm just saying that the logic would be like a racist saying, I don't know the difference, but I'm a racist or whatever, right?
Like, okay, I did say the difference is the purpose that we have for the animals. That's the difference. Like, that's the only thing I can think of as the difference.
Oh, what do you mean by the purpose? Could you elaborate a little bit more?
Crazy.
So, for example, that's why I kept trying to mention, like, okay, fine, we've raised cattle for food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have raised dogs for hunting, companionship, and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So then, from my perspective, that's the only thing that differentiates the two. Right, if you're going to look at it from the purpose.
To feel bad again.
Right?
Okay,
What
can
is
I ask
the
you a
purpose of the animal
crazy? Can I ask you like the crazy hypothetical question?
Yeah.
Like a fucking crazy one, but you have to engage, okay?
Yeah.
If we made certain animals to be sexually used, and the purpose was to be sexually used, would you have no issue with that? If they were bred to be sexually used by humans, and that was their purpose, would you have any ethical issue with that?
I probably would, but then from like a religious perspective.
Oh shit.
But then you're going against your own quote unquote purpose. Do you see the issue?
Of course, I do see the issue, and I understand the issue. I fully accept that there is a contradiction.
No,
I fully accept it, but then I can't just how to put this in words.
But then your contradiction like falls. But the whole
Mm-hmm.
purpose falls flat as soon as you say, well, if the purpose is that, and I don't agree with it, then the whole purpose variable just falls apart. Then you need another reason why it's okay to do.
No.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
it
saying,
kind of
well,
does.
the purpose
It
then
kind
it's
of does.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're
If you said,
definitely right in that regard. I think.
So there has to be another
think, yeah.
reason why one is wrong and the other one isn't, apart from the purpose.
If it's that, then at the end of the day, I don't know then, because if I have what call this thing a natural inclination to see cattle as food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, those are South African prices. I'm seeing what you call this thing. She's checking South Africa. That's not. We don't use this as that's rands. Zimbabwe use American dollars. And then back to you.
Can I tell you something interesting?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're realizing that your reasons that are literally falling apart, maybe like you shouldn't exploit animals at all unless you find that variable that it's that variable that actually like can be used in all individuals. Because there are some like people who are vegan who say like, well, I don't give a fuck about any animals, including humans, but logically it only makes sense for me to treat them all equally, as in equally enough to be respected and left alone.
Yeah.
So maybe you should also have this position where you shouldn't exploit any sentient individual until you find a variable that can be used to exploit all individuals or specific individuals with that variable. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, but makes sense. I do understand, but then I'm also looking at, like, for example, my economic realities, man. Like,
So let's use the economy also. Let's imply the economy in here. Would you be okay with exploiting humans if it was cheaper?
No, I would not.
Okay, then we cannot use economy.
All right.
You see
Let's put it
how
like
those
that.
variables kind of work.
No, because we keep treating, if we're gonna treat humans as animals, right? Then we have to be
Humans
able
are
to allow
animals.
for the. Yeah, but then, see, this is the issue. This is the issue.
Yeah, it is for you.
What's the issue?
When I said, okay, fine. Then what is, for example, in a lion, for example, would eat its prey, right? Because it's a carnivore. A baboon is an omnivore, right? It eats animals, it eats plants, it eats all those things. Human beings are omnivores, right? But we're also animals. So then
But
my question,
keep in mind, omnivore means what we can do, not what we have to do, right?
no, what we can do because we're opportunistic.
Yeah, it means what we can do. It doesn't mean we have to force meat into my mouth because we're omnivores. It just means we have the capabilities of surviving on meat diet, plant diet, or a mixture of both.
Yes, right. That's definitely true. So then my question, right? So then I'm talking about a scenario where I live, right? For example, where I drive, if I drive down like 30, 40 kilometers down the road, for example, in my dog post, there's no grocery store, right? There's actually little shopping centers, right? And most people own cattle because it's cheaper that way. When they slaughter the cattle, right, it's cheaper. They can have that meat for months on end as compared to going to the shops and then buying, for example,
I understand, but this is where consistency is really important.
Also
right
not
now.
true. Also
But
not true, by the way. Just clear.
I guess even if true, even if true, people are asking you to be consistent. If you replaced cows with dogs, would you also give the same reasons that you have to eat dogs because of the economy? Would you be okay with that?
No, I would not give the same reasons.
But do you see the inconsistencies? We are
I
replacing
acknowledge
one
the inconsistency. I acknowledge the inconsistency, and I recognize the inconsistencies. Right? I'm just, I how to put this in words. I believe that we can live with inconsistencies because there's so many inconsistencies in everything that we do. Like even within your moral framework and arguments, right? Like you say, okay, fine, human beings can apply their morality to everything else, but we can't apply animal morality to ourselves. That's an inconsistency.
But we can apply like consistency to different things. I would say like, yeah, we should treat humans like animals if they have almost identical variables, like if they're not morally consistent, or if they are not morally patient, or I can't remember the exact word, but like, for example, if you found a random human in nature and a random animal in nature, I think you should treat them both with like enough respect to let them do their own thing. But if you can teach individuals to be better, I think you should have the means to do it. Like if we demonstrate to you right now that you can live without harming animals, our only like what we care about is for you to be consistent with actually being an ethical person towards others, right? Like me, Chip, and Poist also tell people why racism is wrong, because there's a victim, right? Same way how there's a victim when you eat meat. There has to be a victim.
No, that I completely understand, that there is a victim when you eat meat.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think there should always be a victim of your choices?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. If there shouldn't you look for ways to live your life with the least amount of victims?
And we're already attempting to do that.
Okay. And if some vegans show you that you can live a more cruelty-free way, so you can live without causing more suffering, do you think you have the obligation, as in that you have to, like, you would definitely do as much as you can to reduce the amount of suffering you cause if you do find out you cause unnecessary suffering?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, isn't it?
Well, it's a yes or no question. If I show, I can even.
Okay.
Yeah, if I say, like, I'll use Chip as an example. Chip, if I show you right now that you do cause unnecessary suffering, do you think you have the obligation to stop doing it?
Yes, especially if you also help me and provide me with an option. Yeah.
Voila. Do you think you'll have the same answer to that?
Yeah, definitely. As long as there's alternatives, then yeah, we can move on.
Okay, amazing. Okay, I'll mute myself. The other vegans can continue. That's all I wanted to. Yeah.
As long as we've got other options, that's fine. As long as we've got other options, that's fine, and that's it.
Yeah, but you already acknowledge that you have beans in your area. You already acknowledge that you have other vegetables, and maybe it's a little bit more difficult at first until you realize how to do everything, because every change in life takes a little bit of energy. But it's definitely doable also for you. And we have this challenge that for 22 days you try it. Do you think you can try that for 22 days?
I already went to what you call this thing. I've already tried, not a vegan diet, but more a vegetarian diet.
Yeah, but this isn't what I'm asking you. So if we provide you with the resources that would send you recipes every day and would help you within your area, within your budget, to adopt a plant-based diet that no longer harms animals, and you get all the nutrients that you require for 22 days, would you try that challenge?
Sure. If it's possible. If it's possible, yeah. It would be a very interesting experiment, for example, on your part, to figure out whether or not you guys can actually pull it off in my region.
I mean, in your region, beans are 3 times cheaper than beef.
And also, I met somebody from Zimbabwe on the street. No, I met somebody from Zimbabwe on the street who was vegan. So yeah, it's definitely possible. And it is cheaper. She said that it is cheaper.
Wait, which part of Zimbabwe is she from?
I did not ask that, of course. She just said she's from Zimbabwe. Yeah. How would I know that?
Yeah, no, because, for example, if I go to a place like Harare, right, the capital city, meat is more expensive than, for example, at a place like Matopos or Kwanda, right?
Meat is more expensive everywhere. Beans are cheaper regardless. If you go to a market, you have markets. In a market, beans will be cheaper than anything you can buy. 100% sure of this.
If you go to what you call this thing, no? If you go to, for example, Matopos, like I'm talking about places with no grocery stores, right?
But we can try and find excuses all day long. I presented to you a challenge.
No,
that
in my
would
case, I'm
help
talking
you
about
with all of
myself.
this.
I'm not talking about
Yeah.
myself. I'm not
Okay.
talking on behalf of myself, right?
I
I live in a
think-
city, so all of this could be relatively easy for me. But I'm speaking on behalf of other people, right, who live in situations where whatever you're discussing is not possible.
We'll get
But it
them
doesn't
here and
matter,
we'll see
like-
if it's possible or not. But right now
Yeah.
we're talking about you, for you, correct?
Yeah,
Well,
we
in my
can't
case, I
speak
think
on
it's
behalf of
relatively possible.
others.
Get
It's
these
relatively
guys a
possible, but it should
Wi-Fi
be more
connection and
expensive.
tell them what Discord is.
Yeah, like people who don't use Discord, people who use Discord can go vegan. That's why we're on Discord.
And Makamba, it's I would say that because you have the possibility, you have even more of the obligation to act. Because
go,
maybe
guys,
some of those people would want to no longer be harming animals. Maybe some of those people would want to be in a position where they are not cutting throats of animals, but they can't. And the only way for them to be in that position is for people who can do it, that they do it, because that's how a supply and demand market works, which I'm fairly certain that Zimbabwe has.
Yeah, also I just did some keyword searches for like just one of your supermarket, one of your Pick and Pays.
And they have vegan products, man. They have like canned lentils, they have pastas, bread,
Yeah.
fruit.
They're more on the more expensive side. Like Pick and Pay is more on the expensive side. Like, listen,
I mean,
like I make
consider
make
if
up
you consider $1, if you consider $1 and 15 cents for like a can of lentils expensive, I don't consider that.
Guys, he
The thing
already
is-
said that he's gonna try the challenge, so might as well just like let them do that thing and just tell us how
Yeah.
it's going every other day.
Well, I think that's a good place to end the stream. There you go. The person is gonna try the challenge, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. I'm gonna log off, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a month. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Be good. Go buy beans. Take your B12. If you're not vegan, go vegan.